the moment, I just completed a courses for my students at University of West of England, that strategy and human resource management. So that's going to be the same as you, human resources, human resource management, but the advanced courses. We're going to link strategy and human resources management. But for your course today, it's going to, focus on the basis knowledge skills of HIM. All right. So for the research, I got over 20 publications. So you can get my actually articles published on Wiley, Emerald. You can go to Google Scholar or the library, search my name and to get my publications, articles. And for the experiences, so I would say that I got experiences with this. I mean, I have spent 3 years at the head of Department of HR in public university before actually I moved to international university. I also got experiences with, traveling abroad. For example, I have been visiting Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, US, and UK. So I would say it's a very beautiful country, and I got very good experiences with this country. All right, so that's just a little bit information about me. So you see in the picture on the slides that the LinkedIn, all right, the LinkedIn account. So what I do it, this means I suggest you actually to have your LinkedIn account. If you get your LinkedIn account already, so make connection to me, okay? Connect to me. So we're gonna be a friends on LinkedIn. So that's gonna be good for you because if you get any, request, if you want to ask me to endorse your skills, knowledge on LinkedIn, so I'm gonna be happy to do so. Okay. So every students, in my classes at IU, UWE, University of West of England, or all the university, I ask them, I encourage them to open LinkedIn accounts because this is gonna good for them for job seeking. It's not like so. Of course, I know that many people want Facebooks or the social medias. That's gonna be good. But for the academic field, for the professional one, I think LinkedIn is a good platform for us to make connection. Network, and it's very important is that to find jobs. That's why I only have LinkedIn account. I don't have Facebook, right? So I suggest everyone first, please add me or make connection with me by LinkedIn. Okay, so you can, if you get any question, you can actually type the message there, and that can be reaching me easily. Okay. A second, that we can keep in contact is that Skype. I use Skype actually. So you can go to Skype and type this name, Lang Thor, and to get me there. But please let me know who you are, okay? And said that you are Mr. A, or what's your name, from UFM, University of Finance and Marketing. So I get approved to be my friend in the list, okay? So then we're going to be easy actually to keep in contact. By the way, you can contact me actually through email. The address has been presented on the slide already. Okay, so ALANGTHO 1985 at gmail.com. Okay, so send your email through this. I also got another email actually, but that is email for my university. But I got a lot of emails actually from students for that email. So I think that's going to be good to use this email, my run emails, and especially Skype and LinkedIn as well, very quick for sending any message, especially for urgent issues. Okay. All right. So that is about me. So of course, I'm not sure actually your English, how good it is, but in case you don't understand clearly, or if you feel that my speaking is very quick, so let me know. Okay, I got a message there. Okay, sorry. All right. Just let me know. All right. For example, teacher, you speak very fast. I'm not understanding what you say. So that's gonna be good. I'm gonna be back to explain again, relating to points which are which is not clear to you guys. I'm happy to do so. Right. And so for me, I'm very happy actually to have students not only for this course and even actually for your job seeking later. So if you want to get letter of recommendation for your job seeking later, just let me know, okay? Or if you want actually to make sure that the CV or cover letters are good enough, so let me know. Because at the moment, I also teach another course relating to that we say academic and professional development for students at University of West of England. So for these courses, we talk a lot about CV. How can we create CV? How can we write our cover letter? And we also talk about job adverts. This is going to be your, I mean, one of content of your course, that job description today. Okay, in the field of HRM. All right. So that about me. All right. Okay. So again, if you get already LinkedIn account, so just make a connection to me. Okay. If you don't have that, so I suggest go to open it, because LinkedIn account is one of good social media actually for students, and you get people there. Oh, as most people, educated people, you can meet actual employers, your potential employer there. That's going to be good for you, actually. Right? So now your turn. So of course, let's see how many people in our class. All right, so we got 34. 34, so that's gonna be many, and actually we don't have much time to have introduction from all of you. So I just pick up someone. I got your name already here, very clear. It is Vietnamese name. All right, so good. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go to the next question relating to this. That so, what do you expect from this class of HIM? What do you want from this course? And are you going to search jobs in the field of HIM? Right, just two questions. So first, please, when I ask you, I'm gonna pick up randomly people from the list. Okay, if you hear your name, according your name, so just say something that you can actually answer directly to this question. Okay, so what do you expect from this class of HIM? And are you going to search jobs in this field of HIM? Okay, so we need to take time. So for my classes, I try actually to keep conversation with students, interaction, to make sure that the class is not being boring. All right, so pick up someone. Okay, so Dương Thị Mỹ Huệ, you there? Hello. No. Đoàn Thị Anh Thư, Đoàn Thị Anh Thư, you there? No. One more. Mai Ngọc Thi. No. All right. Let one more. Nguyễn Hoàng Nguyên. Hello. No.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
Nguyên.
I'm here.
Good.
I'm here.
Get you. Okay. All right. So we got two questions actually. Just it's discussion. Not the big thing. So what do you expect from this class of HRM? What do you want from this class?
I want I know more knowledge and
HRM, human
yeah,
resources.
I want to know more knowledge.
All right, good. On HRM, human resources management. Okay, human resources management. Sometimes we say the HRM in Vietnamese HRM, but English is HIM. Okay. So are you going to search jobs to find jobs in the field of HIM? Nguyen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, Nguyen. Thank you for joining me. All right. Let's make friends. Okay. One more. Okay. Nguyễn Ngọc Yến Nhi. Are you there, Nhi? Hello. No. Nguyễn Thị Ngọc Thanh. No. One more. Okay, let me. One more. Trần Thị Kim Loan.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. So, all right. So, Luan, we're gonna, it's just general questions. So, what do you expect from this class of HIM?
I hope I will understand and learn more about HRN.
HIM. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you going to search jobs in the field of HIM?
I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no.
All right. So that we would say that you are not sure. Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. Okay. All right. So long. In case you don't understand clearly my lesson, let me know. Okay. For example, teacher you speak fast early, or you want me to speak slowly. That's gonna be fine to me. So let me know. Okay. All right, guys. Okay. Thank you, Long. Thank you, Nguyen, for sharing your expectation and job seeking in the future. Okay, so I'm happy actually to know that you guys looking for knowledge, I mean insights into HRM. So we say HRM, human resource management. In Vietnamese, that's gonna be quản trị nguồn nhân lực. Okay, but in English, okay, so that's why I should use English for this, that human resources management, or you can say HRM. Okay, all right. So next, I'm going to introduce the course syllabus. So of course, I'm gonna open these files, and then we're gonna look through this. So yesterday, I actually has um, uploaded this file on IMS Teams. So what I suggest is that you guys take time to look through these sketches, maybe just 5 minutes. Very easy. It's just the summary reports there, and I just highlight the section that I think you need to look through rather than going to read all this syllabus. Okay, so what is syllabus? Course syllabus gonna let we know that what do we learn. So what we're gonna learn from this. Okay, so that gonna be the chapters, right? Chapters that we're gonna learn, and what section in this chapter that you're gonna learn, and what learning objectives. A second that we're gonna know how do we learn it. All right, it's lectorials like today's lectorials. That means I'm gonna present it, or discussion. You're gonna have discussion as well. So discussion is like I give you the question, then you're gonna discuss this. So later on, when you get a group ready, so you guys gonna work in a group, discuss the question. It's very easy question, but just make sure that we have conversation regularly, keep interaction. And so this course syllabus also will let you know that how will your learning performance be assessed. So how can we assess you relating to criteria marking? All right, relating to criteria marking criteria, and what do we expect from you? That's going to be relating to learning objectives. All right, so let me open it. Should be this. All right, hopefully that you get that. So here is subject syllabus or course syllabus. All right, so here is learn syllabus, and here you can see that basic general information. Subject name is that human resource management, and so we're going to go through here. I'm not going to talk about much about this here. Here is learning outcomes of the subject. Sorry. Right, sorry guys. Okay, so here's learning outcomes. So you can now actually I suggest it go through this because it's going to be relating to your examination questions. So for any questions, we're going to look through this. Make sure that you get this. So here is important that the metrics for linking the contents and learning outcomes of the subjects. So what I suggest is that to look through the contents. We're gonna have, I think, 12 weeks. Yeah, we're gonna have 12, no, 9 weeks, only 9 weeks, and we're gonna finish this. And for each week, then to get the chapter here, okay? You see chapter 1 today gonna be chapter 1, that introduction to human resource management. That's we say week 1. All right, and you can understand the courses here. The contents of this chapter, and then after you get it, then go to learning materials. Here is a specific one, and it's relating to the learning activities that you're gonna know that how can you learn this chapter. So you see lecturing, demonstrating, discussion. That's today you're gonna do like this, okay? But I'm not going to describe it in details. I just pick up here. Remember that week A, that presentation. So for the it's gonna be for this. We're gonna talk it later. But remember that week A, that's gonna be oral presentation. We got 9. Yeah, we got 10 weeks. So this is week 10. Yeah, we get still at week 10. All right, that's gonna be for course review. And here is very important that main textbook that learning materials. So the book that we use is that Human Resources Management by Mattis, Dr. Robert, Mattis, John, and Sheen. I got this book, but I got the new version of this book that I got 15 edition, and I have actually said it to you already, chapter 1 and chapter 2. So next week, I'm gonna past chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay, so because for copyrights, and that's why I can't actually give you the whole of this book. Okay, so you're gonna get this chapter by chapter, normally 2 chapters. So what I suggest is that try to read it. Okay, if you want to understand more on this, try to read as much as you can the textbook, and then attend the class regularly. I can't say anything. So the book is not a thing there. I just pick up the main points, discuss in the class, the basic things. So for you to need to read the book. And in case you don't understand something there in this book, then you can bring those issues to me. Then we can discuss in the class, right? We use this human resource management, this main textbook. That means the content of this course gonna be withdrawing from this book. But we also suggest you to read another textbook like Structured Human Resources Management or Human Resources Management or him of Michael and Stephen, another Human Resources Management from McGraw-Hill. So, right. So here the books, and not only books. So what I suggest is that you actually can, go to the material. I mean, articles, some magazines or research journals. So what kind of journal I suggest is that Human Resources Management Journal, uh, Asia Pacific Journal of uh, Asia Pacific Journal of Human Resource. So I'm gonna sum up some kind of journal. Make sure that you understand it. So it's gonna be good for you actually later. Right, I'm gonna move to the next journal that I would like to introduce you. All right, so hope that you get it. So here is the journal specific on human resources. It's very good journal actually, and you can go through this. So for students, especially ones who want to do research, your thesis. So I suggest that you need to read this. So see a lot of very good journal here, articles. It is the research they're going to talk about um, human resource issue around the world, and this is going to be very good for everyone to read it. And if you read this journal, you sometimes may meet to get actually my article here. I also got my article published in this journal. For example, we go through this, but this I suggest that use the library because you can't access to this. It's not really free, but if you get your account, I mean, um, I mean, the library, so you can access to this journal. Okay, it's very very good. All right. All right, sorry guys. Sometimes, you know, this problem with online teaching. My kid also get the class, online class. So I just stop here. All right, so the next is very important. Let me back to course syllabus. All right, so very important that the method evaluation, that how can we gonna be, you know, evaluating, I mean making. All right, so remember that I think gonna be the same as all the courses at your university. So the first is that process evaluation. So that's gonna be participation. So look at through this. Here you see that the first regular attention gonna be 20%. All right, so attendance in classes, take part in discussion. So it's going to be a proactive discussion, answer my questions. So that will be, you're going to get a points actually. Normally for my students, I give them points for their, you know, proactive speaking to me. The second is that presentation of student groups. So you're going to have presentation and it's going to be 20%. But for me, I'm going to divide it later. Regular attention going to be 10%, and presentation of student groups going to be 30% maybe, and personal exercises 20%. That meet requirement of exercises assigned. So that's going to be assignment. That's going to be quizzes. So we're going to know it later, okay? And the midterms, you're going to have the midterm examination, and it's going to be 40% of these. So totally, again, I would like to emphasize here, process evaluation is 40%, okay, for total course evaluation, but in which you see that the midterm going to be 40% of this, and 60% of this process evaluation going to be from your attention in the class, group presentation, and personal assessment exercise. That's going to be assignment with the assignments. All right, and the big one is that your final examination, that's going to be 60%. Right, so it's going to be 60%. That's going to be very important, and you're going to have 60 minutes actually for this. And of course, the questions going to be from chapter 1, chapter 9, as they say here. Okay. All right. So, but of course, it depends on, you know, the COVID-19. I mean, the diseases. Hopefully, this semester we're gonna have in-person meeting. I mean, class, physical class. So that's gonna be good for us to have physical interaction, and you're gonna have actually traditional way of taking the examination. Okay. All right. So that is about a course syllabus. Now I'm going back to my activity. Okay. So I'm going to check, make sure that you guys, let's see, right, no question. Right, so back to here. So we just finished talking about introduction to course syllabus. And another thing I think I would like to tell you is that I got a podcast. It is very interesting points, very interesting website actually for HIM. I have posted it already actually on Blackboard. So let me show it and make sure that you guys go to listen it. It's not only for, you know, get updated knowledge in the field of HR, but it's also, you know, very good for you to practice listening English. No, not here. I posted it actually in meeting chat, so you can get that link. Okay. All right. Now we're going to check your group presentation. So, as I mentioned, you see that you guys have the group. So you get, I mean, the group assignments. You guys gonna work in a group. So that's gonna be developing your teamwork skills. And I have sent off the link, a Google Sheet that has everyone going to sign your name and make sure that you get the group already. Okay, so now we're gonna check it. It's class, morning class, that should be you. Okay. Right. Okay, good. Let me, I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share this group. Okay, correct. So here we got this so far. Okay, so we don't have group 1. You guys don't like this group number 1. So much students actually don't like to have the group 4, but that's gonna be fine. So far we get, let's see, we got 6 groups already. Group 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And remember that pickup, I mean, appoint the one who's gonna be your group leaders. Okay, who's gonna be your group leader. So for example, group 2 we got leader Lê Trần Minh Trí, group 3 Phạm Phương Anh, group 4 Trần Thị Kim Loan, group 5 Lê Phú Hùng. So everything are gonna be contact through this leader. Okay, now back to, very good. Now we're back to the learning activities. Here with fun activities. All right. So what you're gonna do with this? I know that everyone's gonna be getting confused that what is assignment? How can you do that? And what the topic that you're gonna discuss? That's gonna be fine. Okay, don't worry. Okay, I'm gonna give you a specific guidelines about group presentation later. But the thing here, now look through the last part here. Guidelines for group presentations or role playing will be provided soon. So in case, I say in case, because we are not sure about the environment so far. I mean the COVID-19, but hopefully we're gonna have in-person classes after holiday. I mean New Year holiday, that holiday. Okay, so in case we got in-person classes, so we don't gonna have presentation, oral presentation. Instead, I'm gonna ask you to produce a video that relating to role playing. Role playing. So what does it mean, role playing? You guys pick up the topics in HIM, right? You're going to pick up the topic in HIM, and then you make the story, make a role, like making movie. So you should have actor, actress there. You should have story, and use the phone or camera to produce 5 minutes videos, right? And make sure that your videos gonna get good content, very reflective the contents, and also provide insights relating to the topic that you're going to present, right? So in case we got in-person classes, then you guys are going to work in producing a video that is role playing, all right, in this field. But in case we don't have in-person classes, I mean, you guys, we still actually get stuck with COVID-19, then we're gonna end, we still have online learning, then we gonna move to oral presentation. All right, so we're gonna have oral presentation in case we don't have in-person classes. All right, so remember that. So next week I think of this, I'm gonna look, I got actual announcements from the university. They said that, so next, I mean after holiday, then we're gonna have in-person classes. That's gonna be good for us to have role playing rather than oral presentation. Okay, and of course guys, of course, everything in oral presentation or role playing, I mean in the videos, should speak English, not Vietnamese. Okay, that is related to group presentation. We're going to talk it later. Okay, so all right, so it's time to talk about the lecturer today. So we spent more than 45 minutes actually to introduce lecturer, yourselves, course syllabus, and another thing. Okay. Now again back to this. So here the time. Remember that the time, in case I missed it, let me know. Okay, just alert me. Okay, remind of me this. Okay, so we're gonna get here break. You're gonna get the break at 9 o'clock. Okay, remember that. All right, 9 o'clock, then we get a break. Okay, 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna move to the first section. So again, as I mentioned, so we get this chapter is introducing the human resources management. That means we're gonna focus on the basic knowledge, almost knowledge. We're not going to practice skills, but from the chapter 2, from the chapter 3, then we're gonna focus on skill development, and hopefully that we will have in-person classes. By doing so, I mean, if we have online, so it's just more focused on theories. But if we have in-person classes, so I'm gonna focus on your skill development. For example, you should understand how to interview candidates, how to write down a invitation letter for job announcements, we say job adverts, and how to analyze the job, how to create training programs, how to evaluate or we say appraisal, evaluate performance or review performance. So a lot of things, a lot of skills going to be trained for you later. Okay, I mean that's going to be for the next chapters. So for this chapter, here is learning objectives. So what does it mean? Learning objective, that is what I want, what I expect from you. So after we finish this quiz, I mean this app this morning, right? You guys should get this. Of course, it's not only to listen my lesson, but you also need to read the materials and make sure that you understand it. The first that I would like you to be unable actually to understand or define human capital or human resources. You should understand and you will be able to define this. So what is human capital, right? What is human capital? And second, that you're going to be able to identify where employees can be used as a core competency. Identify that determine or recognize where employees can be used as a core competency, năng lực cốt lõi, core competency. The third learning objectives that show the 7 categories of HR functions. I would say this objective is going to be later, maybe for the next chapter. So I'm not going to ask you to do this because it's going to be a lot, and you're going to learn this through these programs. And another learning objective is that provide an overview of 4 challenges facing HR today, right? So this is going to be what we focus. Also, I hope that you guys are going to be able to explain how organizational ethical issues affect HR management. I'm not sure actually if you get the course business ethics or not, but in that course you will learn a lot about ethical issues. At the moment, I'm one of actually lecturers teach the course business ethics for students at IU, I mean International University. That's very interesting point. And today we're gonna know how ethics issues or ethical business linked to human resources management, or how it in fact actually affect HR management. And the last learning objectives is that you're going to be able to explain the key competencies needed by HR professionals and why certificate is important. All right, that's the learning objectives. You can get it actually by attending regularly the class, proactive listeners to my lecture, and reading materials. And then you can get these points. All right. Okay, now we're going to go the first definition. Is that human resource, HR, capital, okay? So what is human resource management, HRM? We got the definition here that you see the desire of formal systems in an organization to manage human talents for accomplishing organizational goals. That is formal definition from this course, but remember that for human resources, everyone knows this. But for a long time, the business, organizations are not considered HR as separate departments, not consider human resource management as important as other departments, right? And that's why we don't use human resources departments. We use personal departments. In Vietnamese, we use phòng nhân sự, or we see human resources just part of phòng tổ chức, or human resources is part of phòng hành chính or phòng tổng hợp. We don't see them very important, and that's why we don't put them, we don't place them as separate departments. That is for a long time, and it's also happened, in other countries, especially this textbook is issued by USA. In the USA, human resource management also, ignoring in the past, especially in small and medium-sized enterprises. But now people recognize human resources is very important, and that's why. And we talk about human resources management is that the way we're going to design formal systems in an organization, manage human talents for completing organization goals. I'm going to highlight the main point here. Right. So when we talk about human resources, some people may ask you, what is human resources management? You can answer it by, easily just say that is managing human talents, or managing people, or managing human resources to complete the job, right? All right. So now I'm going to open a video that from YouTube to make sure that you get it clearly. Okay. I'm not sure this doesn't work. Sorry. I'm not sure it doesn't work, guys, but let me pick up this. All right, so I'm gonna open this. Because it's not actually linked direct, automatically from the slide. Let me try it again. No, it doesn't work. So I'm gonna open it here. I'm gonna open it here. Oh, all right, it's worked. Sorry, it's worked. Okay, so
if you're looking for a CRM, get Monday.com's flexible.
All right, someone confirm me, please. What you see in the screen now? Hello there. What you see on your screen now? Video or the presentation slide?
Yeah, I see the first slide.
What? Say again?
I see the first slide in not video.
All right, thank you. Let me change the screen, okay? All right, here. Okay, so what you see? Did you see the video?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
CRM solution that can manage the entire.
When sporting teams and work teams have plans to improve themselves or simply have a vacancy, The coach or manager usually calls in a specialist to find new talents. In companies, that specialist is the HR or human resources manager. HR staff kick into action and start the search for interested recruits. Recruiting is a huge part of making great teams. From the group of wannabes, HR staff use their knowledge and experience to find the best person for the job. HR managers are a vital link in the company's overall structure, making sure that the people match the company's purpose. But human resources staff do much more than find stars for the team. They provide expert advice to managers about how they can improve their team's performance and suggest training options to optimize staff potential. HR staff also monitor well-being, look after safety needs, and sometimes act as intermediaries. Both sides need HR when differences arise. And importantly, they make sure people get paid fairly. They then follow up to ensure when jobs change, so does the pay. Keeping capable staff saves time and money in the long run, so HR managers play a big part in staff retention. In a big company, helping people along a successful career path is part of this responsibility. HR managers can make a big difference when they connect the right people. They help shape the business by facilitating change. Then everyone benefits. HR experts are employed all over the world, which allows for great overseas employment opportunities. So in summing up, human resources recruit team members, advise on team performance, oversee staff training options, monitor well-being, facilitate change, organise salary payments, and resolve grievances. Created using Powtoon.
All right, guys. That is example of human resource management. Now, we're gonna be back to this the definition. So, right. So, that's what we know. So, can someone just let me know actually what you just heard from that video? Just pick up what HR staff doing. What are they doing? Like, I mean, when we talk about human resources management, so what are they doing? Just pick up some activities from that video you just heard. Thùy Linh, you there? Well, Thùy Linh?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
get my question.
Yeah, I just listen a little bit.
All right.
HR manager review. Can I say
Go ahead. Recruit.
Yeah, review. Recruit.
All right.
Employees.
Yeah.
Comfortable. Which sorry.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
okay.
Comfortable with their gọi là mục tiêu.
Objective. All right. Goals or objective. Yeah. All right. Complete goals, objective. Okay. Yeah. All right. Very good, Lynn. Lynn, correct? Okay, Thùy Linh. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your points from that video. Okay. So that is a general thing actually, but I mean, for this video, we should understand basically about human resources, that what they're gonna do. Of course, definite said that that's gonna be the design of formal system in an organization to manage human talent for completing organizational goals. But you can answer very easily that manage people. All right, because when we talk of management, that can be 4 principles, 4 roles: planning, organizing, leading, and control. We apply that into human resources management. Right now, here is example. Now look through this table. Then we get an example that what HR department do. And here is an example of typical division of HR responsibilities. All right. Đây là một cái ví dụ về cái nhiệm vụ của cái bộ phận HR. For example, selection interviewing. Now what they're gonna do? Now you can see the HR department. They develops legal, effective interviewing techniques. What that means? Legal, effective interviewing techniques. Of course, that's going to be relating to questions, right? You should preparing the question for your managers who going to be interviewers. You should do so. And you also create the form, marking criteria for your managers. Okay. Then another thing, train managers in conducting section interviews. So not everyone going to be expertise in interviewing. Remember that. You need to train them. So how can we interview? How can we recognize this candidate is good or not good? That is your job. And then conduct interviews and tests, right? So you guys gonna be the one who gonna, write that email and send the email to candidates, set them that the candidates are selected for interview section, and they need to go to the office at what time, or they're gonna have online interviewing. So you're gonna do those things. Send top applicants to managers for final interview. Then check references. What references? So remember that for any jobs application, they got references. That means in your CV, you have to provide who gonna be a referees for you, and then HR from each organization going to contact these people to make sure that what this candidate say in their CV is correct, and we can use as references, to make sure that the candidate has addressed um, the skills, knowledge that required by our job adverts. And then what you're gonna do? Those final interviewing and hiring for certain job classifications. So for the next step, after to get the candidates already, then you can make contract, try the contract, and of course you are the one who's going to be presented. Now that is the HR department, HR staff. Now let's see what HR managers. They advise HR of job openings, decide whether to do on final interviewing, receive interview training from HR units, do final interviewing and hiring where appropriate, review reference information, and provide feedback to HR departments on hiring or rejection decisions. So that is, you can see that this is an example that we can understand that what HR, human resources management, doing in the departments. Okay, so many actually students after graduate did from BA, business administration programs, looking for a job in field of HR, and you can see that we're gonna know that actually at the end of this morning, then are gonna solve up some jobs adverse, potential jobs in the field of HRM for you, okay, later. So what does an organization need? Why does an organization need HR management? Why they need? Why every organization? Why organization need to have HR? Right? Why they need it? Do we have to have HR departments? If you look through actually at public agency, các cái tổ chức công, for example, Ủy ban nhân dân, correct? We don't have actually HR department, phòng nhân sự. We have phòng tổ chức, phòng nội vụ, and HR part of that department. So why we don't have HR departments? Or even actually public, states on enterprises for a long time, they don't have actually HR department. Normally, they put HR affairs, or we say HR jobs, in the same department with administration or general departments, and that's why you sometimes actually you don't know so where HR gonna work. But in the business, especially enterprises, private enterprises, foreign enterprises, they got their own actually, separate HR departments. Even actually in university, we also have actually HR department that's going to be phòng nhân sự, or some university like human UEH, trường học kinh tế thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, they use exactly words that phòng quản lý nhân sự, phòng quản lý nguồn nhân lực, that is use exactly named human resource management. Phòng nhân sự is that mean personnel management. All right. So why organization actually needs HR management? Now, gonna pick up someone. Okay, we need to keep interactive. So let me see. Okay. Okay. QUểN, QUểN, you there? No. One more. Ngô Tấn Phú. No. Nguyễn Thị Thanh Vi. Are you there? No. All right. So one more. Trần Thị right. No. Trần Thị Diệu Hiền.
Yeah, teacher.
All right. Good, Hiền. Okay. So could you answer this question, please? So why does an organization need HR management? Just actually, I mean, just provide the answer that what you know. So don't worry, it's going to be wrong or right, wrong or right. I'm not going to say it's wrong. I'm not going to say right, but I respect what you say. Okay, and I'm happy actually if you can share your thinking, your thoughts about this question. Let's go ahead.
Sorry, teacher, I don't know.
All right, so let me translate. Would you like to translate into Vietnamese? Hiền.
Mình trả lời bằng tiếng Việt hả thầy?
Yeah. Do you understand it? I mean, do you understand this in Vietnamese? Why does an organization need HR management? You understand it? Do you understand the question?
Thì em hiểu câu hỏi là tại sao điều dưỡng. Em vẫn chưa hiểu câu hỏi luôn.
Alright, so question is that tại sao các cái tổ chức á, người ta phải cần có cái quản lý nhân sự? Okay, try to understand it. Okay, try to explain it in English. I'm going to teach you, so don't worry. Okay. Go
Dạ,
ahead.
thưa thầy. Dạ thưa thầy, là theo em nghĩ là họ cần có người quản lý nhân sự để phân chia công việc cho từng người và từng nhóm người để hoàn thành tốt công việc của công ty.
Right. Okay, here. So the first you say is that in English you say job allocation. Okay, phân chia công việc, that is job allocation. Alright, what else? What else? Go ahead. Hiền ơi, you there?
Yes, teacher.
To get my points, I mean the first your answer, and I can translate it into English, is that job allocation. Okay, and what else? Just say in Vietnamese, then I'm going to translate it into English. That's going to be fine. Okay.
I think five talent is employ.
Employ. You mean recruit, correct? You mean recruit employees?
Sorry, teacher, I don't know.
All right, that's gonna be fine. Okay, so thank you, Hiền. So don't worry. Okay, so we keep interaction. Okay, so step by step, that's gonna be fine. So I know that. Of course, English is not very easy. Because you know, student at IU or GUE, because they speak they have been, you know, trained intensively in English, and that's why they are right. They, you know, speaking everyday English. That's what's gonna be good. But for us, that's gonna be fine. You are good. I mean, better than them actually, because they study English, but you study in Vietnamese. And now you learn English course. This course in English. So of course we're gonna get, you know, a struggle at the first time, but that's gonna be fine. You know, step by step, then we're gonna get it. Okay. So in case you don't understand, just let me know, teacher. Can you translate it into Vietnamese? I'm gonna be fine to do so. Okay, so don't worry, right? Okay, to the question here is that why does an organization need HR management? So as is just following up question from the beginning that we're going to say the definition of HR management and the job. I also gave you an example of HR responsibilities. Responsibilities in Vietnamese that trách nhiệm, that what they do, and we get example with selection interviewing, right? Relating to lựa chọn để phỏng vấn nhân sự, and we know what they do, all right? And then, but remember that HR is not easily work as that. They got a lot of job to do. So you get the picture here. See the picture on the screen that HRM, Human Resource Management, you see, they're going to work with training. So they're going to provide training program. HR phải chuẩn bị các chương trình đào tạo cho nhân sự trong tổ chức. Employee recruitment, tuyển dụng, that's what we're going to know. Rewarding, khen thưởng, right? Business value, liên quan đến giá trị này kia. Success, thành công của công ty. Strategic objectives, mục tiêu chiến lược, alright? So that is why as an organization need HR management, because HR going to be linked to everything, okay? But as I mentioned earlier, I said that in not only in Vietnam, but also actually in other countries, even actually USA, for a long time, HR is ignored, right? People, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, they got negative thoughts about HR. They don't think HR going to be good department. They don't think that HR going to have good contribution to organization. Normally they see that HR is like the cost. Okay, so let me translate it into Vietnamese. I'll try to translate it into Vietnamese, make sure that you guys understand it. Okay. Cái quan điểm về cái phòng nhân sự đó trong cái quá khứ đó không phải là được nhìn nhận một cách công bằng, không được xem trọng, bị cái làm lơ, ignoring, bị đánh giá thấp. Đặc biệt các doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ đó, người ta cứ thấy là cái phòng nhân sự chỉ có tốn tiền, bởi vì người ta thấy người ta phải trả lương này, người ta trả thai sản đủ thứ, còn là tiền không phòng HR này làm không thấy mang lại cái lợi nhuận gì cả. Còn họ thấy phòng marketing đó thì phòng bán hàng thì nhân viên họ bán hàng và họ mang cái tiền về, thành thử làm một thời gian dài cái HR nó không có được xem trọng đó. Hoặc trong lĩnh vực công, các bạn thấy cái bộ phận nhân sự đâu có riêng rẽ đâu, như lúc nãy thầy đã nói nhiều trong cái bản tiếng Anh đó, cái phòng nhân sự là nó được đặt ở trong phòng tổ chức hoặc trong phòng nội vụ, tức là nó không được xem một cái bộ phận riêng. Nhưng mà trong cái doanh nghiệp lớn thì bây giờ các doanh nghiệp nhà nước, doanh nghiệp nước ngoài là người ta bắt đầu xem trọng cái nhân sự rồi, và bắt đầu đã thay đổi quan điểm, và lát nữa chúng ta sẽ học. But here is two actually views. Ở đây có hai cái ý tưởng, có hai cái vấn đề liên quan đến HR department trong tổ chức. Một cái là cái quan điểm về cái tốt, positive, and the second is negative. Negative is not good, okay? So positive, they think that HR going to deal with the huge number of government regulations, protect corporate access against the many legal issues. Như vậy là về cái quan điểm positive á, tức là một cách khả quan đó, người ta nhìn một cách khả quan HR đó, tức là cái nhân sự là đó chính là nó giúp doanh nghiệp là đối phó được với những hàng tá những cái quy định của chính phủ này kia. Khi doanh nghiệp nó nó hoạt động thì nó cần liên quan đến cái luật nào lao động, nào bảo hiểm, nào thai sản, và cái phòng nhân sự sẽ làm những vấn đề đó, bởi vì doanh nghiệp nhiều lúc không có rảnh mà tập trung vào những vấn đề khác đó. Và chính vì điều này thành tựu là nhiều doanh nghiệp người ta thuê luật sư hơn là nhân viên HR đó. Hoặc là bảo vệ các cái tài sản của công ty đối với liên quan luật pháp này kia, chứ họ chưa xem trọng là HR nó thực sự liên quan đến tài sản như là một cái bộ phận quan trọng. For negative, the bad side, cái cách nhìn không tốt, cái quan điểm không tốt về HR, người ta thấy nó rất là cái quan liêu, too bureaucratic, detail oriented, mọi thứ cứ liên quan đến rất là chi tiết, and costly, tốn kém, and comprised of naysayers. Alright, that's not good. More concerned about activities that results nhiều có hành động, nhiều việc làm, nhiều nói quá nhiều mà không thấy kết quả. At first, are seen as seldom linking employees, managerial and business performance. Họ không thấy cái nỗ lực này nó gắn liền với cái nhà quản trị, với nhân viên, với hiệu suất của nhà quản trị, của nhân viên và cái kinh doanh. Họ chưa thấy cái mối liên kết giữa HR, quản lý nhân sự và cái hiệu quả của công ty. Right. So that is, but I would say this for a long time. So far we got a lot of research that demonstrates HR practice, has positive impact on organizational performance. All right. So again, here is HR in small organizations. Now we're going to talk about how HR management or in small organization, or how small organization manage HR. So here's the thing, before we are going to talk how they manage their HR, as I mentioned earlier, that they're going to put it, in other department, not going to be in administrative departments, or even actually in accounting departments, because in small organization, they got some issue here. Shortage of qualified workers, increasing costs of employee benefits, raising payroll taxes, government regulation compliance. That's the issue. I mean, the thing, HR work in small organization, shortage of qualified workers, sự thiếu hụt bằng những cái công nhân có cái năng lực, increased cost of employee benefits, cái chi phí.
Dạ thầy ơi, hình như thầy không có share màn hình nữa thầy.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, yeah, maybe let me check it again. So what you see on your screen now? Let me do it again. All right, sorry.
I don't see nothing.
Okay, thank you. Get that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me back this. This is the first question. I'm not sure. Do you guys get it? Here's we just say, so views of HR department in organization is we got positive and negative views. That good views, and good on other side is negative views. Good views, good perspectives about HR is that they see that HR gonna deal with the huge numbers of government regulations, gonna protect companies' access against the many legal issues. But the negative perspectives on HR is that the HR is too bureaucratic, rất là quan liêu, detail oriented, costly, and comprises nice sales, and more concerned about activities than results. Efforts are seen as seldom linking employee managerial and business performance. And it's very actually happened with small business. I mean, small organization. They see HR is not very important, and a lot of actually problems with HR management in smaller organizations. Here you can see shortage of qualified workers, increasing cost of employee benefits, raising payroll taxes, government regulation compliance. Right? I got my experiences actually. I did my research in employee voice in small and medium-sized enterprises in Ho Chi Minh City, and I got several interviews, with the owner business. They only have 10 staff or 5 staff, and normally there, normally their labor force, their staff are, their relatives, their family people, their family, just 2 or 3 people from outside the family. And what they said to me that is, why I asked them why you can actually recruit people outside from your family. Why you work with people in the family? It's going to be many difficulties relating to creativity limitation. He said that to me. That's very difficult. If you want to recruit people from outside from your family, you have to pay very high salary. If you want to get good, talent employees, you have to pay very high salary. Another thing is that small organizations are not going to pay, the insurance, or even actually they don't provide full contract with employees, and that's why the good employees, the talent employees, not going to select small business, small organization to work for. And of course, I got another thing. Issue from small business that reported to me is that employees, work for them, often as the owner had to pay high salary. If they don't get high salary, they're gonna leave the company. They're gonna work for the business one. The big one. So that is the thing actually relating HR in small organization. But before we going to understand the core competency, here is the thing. When we talk about organization, remember that I got a question like this. The first question here. Why does an organization need HR management? So that if you can, it's going to be relating that how HR important in the organization, because we're going to go through this. So we talk about organizations, even small or big enterprises or organizations, they all have this. We say access. In Vietnamese, tài sản, all right? Access. You can see here, we got physical. What is physical? For example, the building. For example, factories. For example, machines, materials. That is, we say physical thing. Physical access. Financial access. It's the money. It's the process. It is the capital. It is what else? Related to finance. Let me ask someone. All right. Cao Thị Ngọc Nhi, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So could you give me some example about financial access in an organization? Hello.
I'm sorry. I understand.
Financial access. You don't understand? Do you understand financial access? Tài sản mang tính chất tài sản mà giống như gần như về liên quan đến tiền bạc đó. Could you give me some example? Financial access. That the access tài sản liên quan đến tiền bạc này kia. For example, what kind of this? Nhi, do you have any answer? All right, guys. So it's very easy, guys. You see, every business they got bank accounts, they got the purchase, right? They got the loans. So a lot of things that's going to be financial access. Even actually, it's not only finance. I think as Vietnamese field, it's also kind of financial access. Intellectual property. What that mean? Can someone give me example of intellectual property? All right. Thùy Linh, you there?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
All right. Could you give me one example of intellectual property?
Cái này là tài nguyên trí tuệ, kiểu tài sản trí tuệ đúng không thầy?
Yes, could be.
Yeah.
All right. You give me an example of this.
Dạ, em chưa suy nghĩ ra nữa thầy.
Okay, so let me give you example. You know franchise. Em có nghe cái nhượng quyền không?
Dạ.
Em có nghe người ta nói nhượng quyền không?
Có.
Ví dụ Coca này nó nhượng quyền là như thế nào? Nó bán cái gì cho Coca Việt Nam này có phải là nó mang cái sản phẩm từ Mỹ bán ở Việt Nam không? Hay là sao?
Dạ. Là cái thương hiệu
Alright, so okay, để thầy giải thích như vậy, đó là những cái tài sản về cái thương hiệu vô hình đó em, những tài sản vô hình đó, nhưng mà nó rất là mát. Ví dụ như phở 24 giờ nè, em thấy rất nhiều người ta cũng mở phở 24 giờ, nhưng mà người ta đâu phải mang nguyên vật liệu từ phở 24 giờ đâu, mà người ta tự làm, nhưng mà người ta lấy thương hiệu của phở thôi. Hoặc là các bạn có hiểu từ cái case study của Nike đó, cái hãng giày Nike, các bạn có biết cái đó không? Của Adidas, các bạn có nghe nói về Adidas không? Adidas nó chỉ ăn cái thương hiệu nó thôi, nó không có làm ra giày đâu, mà người ta làm sau đó nó đặt ở các nước đang phát triển như Bangladesh hay là Việt Nam, sản xuất giày xong sau nó chỉ gắn logo thôi, như vậy là đó là giá trị thương hiệu của công ty đó. Hay là ví dụ bây giờ Winmart đó, cái Vinmart, cái hệ thống siêu thị Vinmart, bây giờ ông Vượng đâu còn cổ phần ở đó nữa, hình như đó, mà đã bán ở đâu rồi, người ta chỉ lấy cái thương hiệu của ông thôi để tiếp tục kinh doanh, nhưng mà phải mua tiền rất là lớn. That is we say intellectual property. And another capital access, very important that you can see. One of all this is that human. So what is human? Lynn, again, what is human access?
Manager, executive, employees.
Yeah, correct. That are people, correct? Okay, that we say staff, that's going to be human access. So that's very important. You can't do by yourself everything. You can't do by yourself. For example, if you are a manager, you can't do anything by yourself. You need to have staff. Staff going to work with you. You just give them objectives, then staff going to get that. So that is the reason why you see that managers are not going out to sell their products. Who's going to do that? Their staff. All right. Cái này nếu tụi em đã học cái môn quản trị principle of management thì chúng ta hiểu rằng là cái human, mọi thứ là con người làm hết. Ví dụ em có làm cái giám đốc một công ty chăng nữa thì cái việc mà đánh máy văn bản không phải em làm đâu, đều nhân viên làm hết. Hoặc ngay cả các công ty lớn ở đây này đi bán hàng này kia, giám đốc đâu ra ngoài bán hàng đâu, ai bán hàng? Nhân viên đem bán hàng. Alright. Okay, so that means, so what we see here, HR is very important. Human is human resources management or people. So that's why we should consider, or value employees, staff in the workplace as the access, như là một cái tài sản. We say human access. And we're going to notice why they are access. Here, specifically, human capital. That's going to be relating the capabilities, knowledge, skills, life experiences, and motivation of an organizational workforce. Right? So that's why we say talent. And that's why you see at the moment, so many actually students, graduated from HR department, HR programs, they work as headhunter. Headhunter. Right? You guys get that? What is headhunter? All right. So that electing, headhunter, they're going to find out, the good employees, and then they introduce it to the organization. For example, APT, APT, correct? APT University. Everyone get that? APT University. So at the moment, APT University is going to recruit their lecturers who have PhD degree and graduated from English-speaking countries, but not very easy to get that. And some people, they work as headhunter. So headhunter gonna going to find out people who address this qualification, and they introduce this to APT University. So in case APT University recruit successfully these guys, then the headhunter get the bonus money. All right, so that's the way have human capital is very important, and we can define it as like collective value of the capabilities, knowledge, skills, life experiences, and motivation of an organization workforce. And that's the reason why every business they ask you, to have the knowledge, to have skills, to have experiences if you're going to get job at their workplace. Or we can say this that like intellectual capital to reflect flowing contributions of employees, thinking, knowledge, creativity, and decision making. That is a human capital. So human get this very different. Computer can't do this. Some people may say to me, may tell me that you get the robots, you get AI. Yes, I agree with that. To get the robots, the AI, but you should think who actually created robot AI. That the human, the people. People can make any differences, and that's why they should be considered, should be recognized at the full access in the workplace. So they're gonna be actually higher than money because the people, staff, you can make the money. And that is why we say HRM, human resources, as a core competency. So this department very important, and every business should have this. Should consider HRM as core competency because it is unique capability that creates high value in which an organization excels, differentiates an organization from its competitors. Nó làm cho một doanh nghiệp khác với cái đối thủ cạnh tranh do HR đó. Is this a key determinant of competitive advantage? Đây cũng là cái yếu tố chính dẫn đến công ty có được cái lợi thế cạnh tranh. Competitive advantage, cái lợi thế cạnh tranh. HR department focus on using people as a core competency. Bởi vì cái phòng HR này nó tập trung vào việc sử dụng con người như một năng lực cốt lõi. Right? And it is very, feasible, very easy to observe if you work at hospitality industry. Cái này rất dễ nhận thấy trong các ngành dịch vụ, ví dụ như khách sạn này kia. Chính con người tạo ra sự khác biệt. Tiền bạc, em không có tiền, em huy động từ các nhà doanh nghiệp lớn, người ta chung vốn, em vay ngân hàng đủ vốn, có thể xây khách sạn như nhau. Hai khách sạn đều 12 tầng, nhưng tại sao khách sạn này người ta đi nhiều, khách sạn kia người ta lại không tới? Và vấn đề là con người trong đó, nó cách thức quản lý làm cho nhân viên hài lòng, mà cái đó liên quan đến unique. Unique that means core competency. So core competency in Vietnamese năng lực cốt lõi. Mình mới nói năng lực cốt lõi là nó tạo ra sự khác biệt và tạo ra lợi thế cạnh tranh. Right? And of course, when we talk about HR, it's very important that employees. So employees as a core competency. Right? Nhưng mà employee đó, nhân viên, nhân sự đó như là một cái năng lực cốt lõi trong một cái tổ chức. And it's going to be focused on 3 things. Và 3 lĩnh vực chúng ta sẽ xem xét. Một là productivity. Thứ hai là customer service, organizational culture. So employees going to be impact on this. All right? Why we say employee core competency? Because it has, you know, significant contribution. Nó có những đóng góp rất quan trọng đến những cái bạn này về cái hiệu suất, productivity, dịch vụ khách hàng, customer service, organizational culture, văn hóa tổ chức. So employee gonna be the one that's gonna do it. All right. And so guys, we'll talk about core competencies, not only, you know, for employees, even you yourself, you should recognize what is your core competency. Ngay cả bản thân các em cũng phải xác định cái năng lực cốt lõi của bản thân mình. If you get that, if you know what is your core competency, then you can, you know, focus on this. You can develop it, you know, and use this to make your difference, and then to get a job. Năng lực cốt lõi rất quan trọng. Muốn lợi thế cạnh tranh bây giờ trong việc xin việc này kia thì phải có năng lực cốt lõi. Cho nên các bạn thấy cũng cầm một cái bằng, ví dụ đều là bằng tốt nghiệp đại học tài chính marketing, nhưng mà đi xin việc giữa anh A anh B, mà sao anh B này người ta lại nhận, anh A người ta lại không nhận, bởi vì người ta nhìn thấy hai ông này, ông B này ông có một cái năng lực cốt lõi mà ông A không có, mặc dù hai người tốt nghiệp từ trường học cùng kết quả bằng nhau. Alright, so core competency is very important. Tất nhiên cái năng lực cốt lõi của một cá nhân này nó không phải là đó là kiến thức, đó là học hành, rất nhiều cái yếu tố mà nó mang lại lợi thế cạnh tranh. Mình không thể xác định là cái này là cái kia, nhưng cái quan trọng là vào cái tình huống và cái đối tượng và cái lợi thế cạnh tranh của họ. Ví dụ nếu các bạn đi thi cái what's that? Vietnam Idol, correct? Is that going to be relating to singing? I'm not sure. So of course, your voice going to be very important. Ví dụ mình đi thi cái Vietnam Idol thì rõ ràng là cái thằng nào có giọng đặc biệt thì sẽ là cái core competency, and you're going to get green. But I'm not going to talk that. Now we're going to focus on employees in the workplace, and we're going to look through that why we say they are core competency, and how this competency going to be contributing to productivity, customer services, and organizational cultures. So here's organizational productivity, hiệu suất tổ chức. Productivity is that we say a measure of the quantity and quality of work done, and considering the cost of the resource used. Như vậy là khi mình nói đến cái hiệu suất này liên quan đến cái số lượng, chất lượng mà cái công việc mình làm ra, và rõ ràng là trên cái chi phí thấp. Ví dụ trong một ngày các bạn có thể sản xuất ra được ví dụ 100 chiếc xe máy, nhưng mà cũng trong một ngày đó công ty khác người ta làm 1000 xe máy, như vậy ai hiệu suất hơn? Productivity, right? Unit labor cost, that a measure of HR productivity computed by dividing the average cost of workers by their average level of output. Và cái thứ hai là khi người ta nói đến cái organizational productivity là hiệu suất doanh nghiệp, người ta xem xét cái chi phí dựa trên cái đơn vị lao động, tức là so sánh giữa cái trung bình cái chi phí và cái đầu ra mà họ làm ra được. But I'm not going to focus more on this. What I suggest is that productivity, you focus on productivity, that the measure of the quantity and quality of work done, and considering the cost of the resource use. So are you going to use this? I'm not sure actually for your thesis, but what I know at the moment, I got my master students, I got bachelor students. They work on thesis, and many of them actually going to do the research in this field, productivity. For example, how employee voice impact on organizational productivity, or how leadership impact on organizational productivity, some research like that. So look at figure 1.3, is that HR approaches to improving productivity. The first slide, we're going to understand, we just explain what is organizational productivity. Now, we see, because we said that HR as core competence. Now we're going to look to how HR approach to improve productivity, right? First, as you see, you get goals that increase organizational productivity and reduce unit labor cost. Và tăng cái hiệu suất và giảm cái chi phí lao động. And here's the thing that HR can do. Và đây là 4 cái khối công việc mà cái nhân sự họ đóng góp vào cái hiệu suất này. Thầy nhắc lại như vậy là bởi vì thầy I'm going to translate in this Vietnamese, sorry. Mình đang nói về cái năng lực cốt lõi của nhân sự. Đấy. Thì năng lực cốt lõi của nhân sự này nó đóng góp đến 3 yếu tố. Đó chính là cái hiệu suất của công ty, dịch vụ khách hàng và cái văn hóa tổ chức. Thì lúc nãy mình vừa nói về cái hiệu suất doanh nghiệp đó, là mình xem xét ở cái hiệu suất và cái đơn vị ở cái chi phí lao động. Hiệu suất đó liên quan đến số lượng, chất lượng mà người ta làm ra được một cái chi phí cho phép, và cái đơn vị người ta chia ra cái chi phí bỏ ra cho một cái đầu lao động và trên cái kết quả mà họ làm ra được. Thì đây là 4 cái khía cạnh mà HR có thể đóng góp. Ở đây là mục tiêu này, tức là cái productivity mà mình muốn đạt này. Increase organizational productivity and reduce unit labor cost. Đó là doanh nghiệp muốn là gia tăng cái hiệu suất và giảm cái chi phí. And now we're gonna see how HR gonna contributing to this. Bây giờ mình sẽ xem làm sao mà HR họ đóng góp được. The first, organization restructuring. Revising organizational structure, reducing staff, aiding in mergers and acquisitions. Như vậy liên quan đến tái cấu trúc tổ chức, đó chính là HR làm. Ví dụ liên quan đến việc tái sửa cái văn hóa tổ chức, giảm cái số lượng nhân viên, hỗ trợ trong cái việc sát nhập và giải thể. A second is that redesigning work, thiết kế lại công việc. So changing workloads, combining jobs, reshaping jobs because of technology changes. The third one that HR do, which have significant contribution to productivity, that outsourcing analysis. They're using domestic vendors or contractors instead of employees, outsourcing operations internationally, and aligning HR activities, attracting and retaining employees, training, developing, and evaluating employees, compensating employees, and other HR activities. So this is the way that HR approach to improve productivity. And we got 4 things, you see: organization restructuring, redesigning work, outsourcing analysis, aligning HR activities. So I think there are one very good example to explain it, but I'm going to give it later. For example, when COVID-19 happened, when COVID-19 come to our country, to our city, Ho Chi Minh City, so what happened, you see, that every business locked down, even after the shutdown, right? Some business, they still actually keep working, but what they're going to do? They move online working, right? And what else? They're going to reduce the salary or even lay off. So that is very good, big thing to do. Who do that actually? HR, right? Như vậy đây thì có một cái ví dụ mà lát nữa mình sẽ có thảo luận ở sau đó, cái vai trò của HR. Vừa rồi các bạn thấy khi COVID-19, cái dịch Covid đến ở thành phố mình thì cái gì xảy ra? Các doanh nghiệp đóng cửa, không có sản xuất. Nhiều doanh nghiệp có cả hàng trăm, hàng ngàn công nhân phải đóng cửa. Thì các bạn biết cái mức độ nó hỗn loạn như thế nào. Thì ai sẽ làm vấn đề đó? Hoặc nhiều doanh nghiệp bị chuyển sang làm online. Nhưng mà ai sẽ làm? Ai sẽ phải làm những vấn đề đó? Về làm online thì bây giờ sẽ làm như thế nào? Quản lý ra sao? Ai sẽ rồi đánh giá thành tích ra sao? HR sẽ làm. Rồi bây giờ doanh nghiệp khó khăn đóng cửa như thế do dịch. Rồi bây giờ mình phải tính toán cái chuyện mình sẽ giảm nhân sự hay là lay off hoặc giảm lương. Các bạn không tin, các bạn đi hỏi bạn bè thử coi xem trong cái thời kỳ Covid rồi các bạn có nhận được full salary không? Đâu có được đâu, chỉ nhận là 25% hoặc 75% thôi. Thế như HR là người tính toán ai là sẽ bị như thế, hoặc ai mình sẽ cắt giảm. HR phải làm những vấn đề đó. So that you can see that they work a lot. Okay. Another thing is that customer service and quality linked to HR. That's going to be affect organizational effectiveness. Now you can see the HR resource management and customer service and quality. We got many research. They investigate how actually HR impact on customer service, especially you see in some services industry like banking or hospitality or tourism. So HR is very important. Bây giờ cái slide này thầy cố gắng nói tiếng Việt, nhưng mà mấy cái quiz sau có lẽ là mình sẽ nói tiếng Anh, các bạn phải tập dần nhé. Ở đây này, mình sẽ xem xét đóng góp của HR này, của nguồn nhân lực đó, của phòng nhân sự đối với cái dịch vụ khách hàng thì như thế nào. Ở đây thầy nghĩ một cái ví dụ mà rõ nhất để các bạn thấy đó là ngân hàng, dịch vụ ngân hàng đó, tức là các ngành dịch vụ đó, khách sạn hay là du lịch. Thì dường như những cái lĩnh vực này là con người là chủ yếu. Ví dụ các bạn vô ngân hàng, các bạn vừa bước vào cửa thì các bạn thấy sẽ có nhiều nhân viên tới hỏi bạn làm gì, bóc số giùm mình nữa. Mình muốn làm thẻ thì có người sẽ giúp làm thẻ cho mình, trả lời rất là chu đáo này kia. Đó. Tại sao họ lại làm như thế? Tại sao nhân viên họ lại đối xử với khách hàng như thế rất là mượt mà, rất là tốt, khách hàng rất là hài lòng và hôm sau người ta muốn đi dùng tiếp. Như vậy liên quan đến HR đây này. Cái HR đằng sau đó là người thiết kế ra các chính sách thưởng phạt, các chính sách khuyến khích trong cái công ty. Đó. Ví dụ dựa trên cái hiệu suất, ví dụ phòng nhân sự đưa ra để đo lường cái kết quả làm việc của một cái nhân viên, ví dụ ngân hàng, ngoài cái việc nghiệp vụ chuyên môn, nhân viên chăm sóc khách hàng phải dựa trên sự hài lòng của khách hàng. Đó. Khách hàng sau khi làm việc xong, người ta sẽ bấm vào emoji đó, happy hay là sad, và cái đó gửi trực tiếp đến HR sẽ quản lý. Nếu như anh làm cho nhân viên mà hài lòng liên tục thì HR sẽ đề xuất lên giám đốc thưởng hoặc nâng lương. Đấy, thì rõ ràng như thế thì nó tác dụng làm cho cái nhân viên phục vụ khách hàng sẽ tốt hơn. Nhưng cũng như thế, cũng ngân hàng đó, nhưng mà HR người ta không có quan tâm vấn đề đó. Chẳng có HR, chẳng hạn HR làm không quan tâm gì cả thì các bạn sẽ thấy như thế nào? Thông tin các bạn vào so sánh thử coi. Các bạn sẽ vào ngân hàng, các bạn vừa vào ông bảo vệ nó nạt một phát, đứng lại đề nghị check covid xong đi vào, đứng lại, đứng xa xa, đi vào rồi ngồi không biết làm cái gì, cái chạy vô hỏi chị ơi cho em hỏi em muốn rút tiền ở đâu, đi ra bóc số, chạy ra bóc số, bóc trúng số 300, ngồi chờ tới chiều không thấy ai gọi tới hỏi chị ơi tại sao tới 300 rồi mà không ai gọi tên. Bây giờ hết giờ làm việc rồi, buổi chiều đi làm. Alright, that is two examples to make sure that you understand how HR impact on customer service and the quality. Okay. Now we got the discussion that how do HRM practices improve customer satisfaction. Could someone explain it? Now think of this, okay? So you got 5 minutes to think of this, and then we're gonna discuss, okay? So how do HRM practices improve customer satisfaction? Sorry. No, mình ngồi đâu. So guys, we got 5 minutes, okay? Think of this question, and then we're gonna be back to discuss. And after that, we take a break. We're gonna discuss that how do HRM practices improve customer satisfaction. And I got the guideline here: HRM employees, customer service. But I suggest that try to use English, okay? So try to use English. You need to practice um, speaking, okay, and listening as well. So in case you don't understand these questions, how do HRM practices improve customer satisfaction, just let me know, okay? I am happy actually to translate it into Vietnamese. But I would say is that so we shouldn't actually translate every lesson. I mean, question like this into Vietnamese. You need to understand this in English. So that's gonna be good for you actually. All right, because we got actually uh, Vietnamese course relating to this Vietnamese class actually relating to this course. All right, guys. Did you get a question? So let me pick up someone. Okay. Let's see the message. What the message? No message. Okay. Right. So let's discuss this question before we are taking a break. Get 4 minutes. I'm gonna pick up randomly. Okay, from the bottom. All right. QUểN, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, good. So could you discuss this question with the class, please? So how do HRM practices improve customer satisfaction? Can you get my question?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right, good.
So I think it's improve employee employee quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what else? All right, Ken. Thank you. Right. Xuân Diệu, you there? Võ Phúc Xuân Diệu. No. Phụng Anh, Trần Phụng Anh, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, good. Okay, so nice to hear your voice. Could you answer this question, please? Here, to get it. So, how do HRM practices improve customer satisfaction?
Yes, in my point of view, I think that the HRM should be, create people working in flexible, effective organization that provide rewarding work for individual is important for all manager. That's all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Anne. Okay. All right. One more. we need to keep conversation. We need to have interaction. To improve communication skills. Okay. Oh, we just hear from Trần Phụng Anh, correct? Trọng, you there? Văn Trọng.
Yes, I hear.
All right. So could you answer this question, please? Just provide your perspectives, individual perspective. I mean, personal perspectives. So I'm not going to say that is that correct or is that right, but what we want is that we're going to discuss, look through, so how that HR practices could improve customer satisfaction. All right, Lê Phiên, sorry.
And the same view of and the same view of
Okay, thank you. Trọng hả đấy?
Dạ đúng rồi thầy.
Okay, Lê Phiên, go ahead.
In my perspective, I believe that the HRM will work with the employees, share experience, and collab with them to make the customer service as good as they can, to meet the customer demands. And uh, also the HRM, I mean the company,
Yep.
should keep their brand promise
Mm.
to the customer,
Mm.
and also improving commitment and involvement in the employees.
Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you, Fian. Okay, all right. So that's the way that we can, I mean, we can see that how HRM practice improve customer satisfaction. All right, thank you, guys. Okay, so we're gonna have a breaking section now. Okay, so you're gonna have 15 minutes. So I'm gonna be back after 15 minutes. Okay. Alright, guys, I'm back. Okay, so finish this section. We're gonna move to the next section. Okay, that second section of lectorials. So we just stop here. All right. So now another thing that relating to the contribution of HR into organization is that organizational culture. So the first thing that we're going to explain that what is organizational culture. What we know is that the shared values and beliefs in an organization, and of course, organizational culture is different from others. And every business, organization try to make their own organizational culture, and that's gonna make that different from others. It's gonna be involved over a period of time and provide employees with rules for behavior. Sometimes we say code of ethics, and it's constant and enduring, and it is continuous organizational climate. And of course, it's going to affect service and quality, organizational productivity, and financial results. Um, so when we talk about organizational culture, guys, remember that there are two sides. So one is you can see there is a visible aspect of organizational culture, and another one is that invisible. You can see it, but if you are there, then you understand what's that. Okay, the pen it doesn't work actually. For example, I think UFM or IU, every university they get their organizational culture, and what you can see is that regulation. Okay, for example, when you go to the school, when you go to classroom, so there are behavior regulation that what the university ask you to do or don't do. That's kind of organizational culture. Or even you see some organization they try to get their dress code uniform. Okay, for example, at uh, UFM or universities, they didn't get uniform. We say out first. That's gonna be relating to organizational culture. So who gonna do that? HR gonna do this. Okay. For the next slides, I'm going to give you two examples of organizational cultures. Okay. So your job is listen and try to pick up the main parts. So what is the organizational cultures? They present it very clear, very clear. It is, of course, English. Okay. So the first is Netflix culture. The second is Google. Now, listen to the first one, Netflix culture. Okay.
The biggest.
Sorry, I'm going to share the screen. Where is right? This one. Okay, now listen to this.
Reason why freedom and responsibility drives the success of Netflix. The biggest reason why freedom and responsibility drives the success of Netflix is it encourages us all to be big risk takers. So what does freedom and responsibility mean to me? It means three things. One, there's trust. I'm being trusted to make the right decisions in the best interest of Netflix. Number two is self-discipline. I have the self-discipline to exercise good due diligence and good judgment. And the third thing is accountability. I'm accountable for the outcomes of my decision, whether they're good or bad.
Freedom and responsibility to me is the gateway to creativity. When you have someone telling you what you can do and not what you can't do, to me, that's a very liberating framework in which to function.
What I like the most about freedom and responsibility is I think it speaks to the intelligence of people. You're trusting people by default. You step in the company, you're new, we're asking you to be thoughtful, to find the context, but actually we're giving you responsibilities, we're giving you the trust.
I think for me, I
try to separate the two. I have the freedom to make the best decisions for the business, for my life, and responsibility is for me to make sure that the freedom in those decisions creates a positive impact for the business, for myself, for my family. That's how I look at it.
Freedom and responsibility means having the autonomy to make my own choices. It doesn't mean that I can do whatever I want.
It is freedom to make the right decisions for the business. It's not freedom to do what I want to do in any given moment. For me, it felt like I was being employed by somebody who recognized I was a sensible grown-up.
In many cases, we mistake having the freedom to take decisions with not having to listen to others. I think freedom and responsibility speaks about the trust that is deposited in you to make that call at the end of the day, but it should be a consequence of all those conversations we've had with your peers, not taking decisions by yourself and not considering the context and the people around you.
At any other company, you constantly have all this red tape and all these people you have to get through, but having a manager that leads by example, that constantly explains it, that points out examples of how someone's really doing it well, I think is what I've always appreciated.
The one piece of advice that I would give to a new person at Netflix is to be confident that you are the person who knows what is best for Netflix in your business and in your market.
You were hired here as an expert, and reminding you of that and knowing that you have that in you is just a matter of like taking that step back and allowing you that freedom then to do it on your own. You definitely do that. You're so great.
You're great.
Ask yourself, have I tried something different today? If it's uncomfortable, seek advice from peers. Have them help you vet it.
Be vulnerable and accept that we all make mistakes. Nobody comes here knowing everything. And there is no magic wand. We all take our time to understand and digest information. And this is totally fine.
To those people struggling with it, I say embrace it because it's really empowering. And those people who latch onto it as a buzzword and think it's really simple, just stop, take a moment, think about how deep it is. Think about the nuances of these words and think about what it really means.
You already possess these qualities anyway, and I feel that intuitively, freedom and responsibility are traits that are inherent to us on an everyday basis.
Right, and the second one is Google, okay?
One misconception of meditation is that if you're meditating, your mind will be blank. You can't make your...
Hang on. Got a knot in your back? Schedule a massage. Looking for inspiration? Attend a talk with a world leader.
It starts with an open internet.
Or pop icon.
The most important thing I think with creativity is that you honor your creativity.
Free gourmet meals and shuttle rides aren't unheard of in Silicon Valley. But why does Google go above and beyond? Now that I've been spending a little bit of time here at the Googleplex, soaking up the corporate culture, chatting with Googlers, I'm starting to pick up on a trend. See if you can spot it.
We are constantly looking to figure out, any type of program that will make Googlers happier, healthier, and more productive.
They can collaborate and they can do the work in the most productive manner.
We are, at the forefront of making people decisions and figuring out how to have a really productive workforce.
Be more productive.
And super productive.
In the last 14 years, Google has gone from 2 employees to over 32,000, making it tough to preserve its nimble and industrious startup days. To recapture that vibe, Google hires people analysts like Jessica Wisdom.
We want to make them healthy and we want to make them happy. And the ultimate goal is, of course, to keep them here, to keep them, engaged in their work. And research does show that when people are happy, they're more engaged in their work and more productive.
But Google doesn't subscribe to typical HR philosophies. This is the company whose data mining strategies created a multi-billion-dollar business. Google knew providing free, flavorful meals on campus would keep workers from straying too far from their desks. But it didn't just hire a chef and tell them to get cooking. It ran experiments, collected results, and analyzed them to carefully craft a healthy and appetizing menu. It goes beyond cafes. When Google opens new office space, it uses practically every methodology in the book.
We have a passion for collecting the right data, analyzing it, and implementing it to every design. So from surveys of each individual person, to interviews, to brainstorms, we've even done psychological profiles over the years.
Hang on. Psychological profiles? Yep. To design at Zurich offices, employees took personality tests. Fascinating, right? But does this sound slightly Orwellian to anyone else?
The other message is, well, why should you ever leave? I mean, we always want you to be here. And to me, I mean, the joke I tell is there's a sociological literature on things that are called total institutions. Prisons would be an example of a total institution. I don't know, maybe the army, mental institutions, something you check in, but you never leave.
Sutton labels some Google policies as liberal paternalism, but he says the tech giant truly tries to be a force for good. Still, Googlers must have some gripes, right?
A lot of my passion has kind of been like the social enterprise and social change space. And so part of my main reason of leaving Google was there wasn't quite the opportunity for me there at the time to sort of have those passions filled.
A common refrain among ex-Googlers. Eventually, they may want to invest all those long hours on their own project.
All right, so we got two cases relating to organizational culture. Okay, so now going back to presentation slides, and then we're going to discuss. Okay, so what you learned, what you got. The first Netflix, the second Google. So what is their organizational culture? All right. So what you heard? What you heard from those videos? Now, Netflix first, okay? So what you hear? Okay, let me pick up someone. Quốc Tài, you there? No. Mỹ Thuận. Mỹ Thuận, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So just pick up maybe one or two words from the first video that Netflix culture. So what you hear from that? What is their organizational culture? Or how about Google? Google. Did you heard anything about Google?
I'm not sure I can hear.
All right. So okay, okay. Okay, go ahead. Keep going. Okay. For the Google, what we heard is that productive. So everything, I mean, they do or they collaborate with all. It's going to focus on productive. Okay, that's one of we can't see this. I mean, as I mentioned, when we talk about organizational cultures, there are some we say visible aspects, but others invisible aspect. We can't see that, but we can hear that Google is productive. For Netflix, they focus on freedom and responsibility. All right, you get that? Mỹ Thuận. Oh, sorry, who I just asked? Mỹ Thuận, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so some you understand what productive? For example, if you are you do well your job, you learn very quick, I can say that you are very productive staff, for example, like that. All right, so that's they can focus on that. Okay, okay, thank you, Mỹ Thuận. Okay, now we got the discussion questions, guys, for the next slide here. So could you give some examples of HR activities that would be relating to build up the organizational cultures? You can think in data in Vietnamese if you like. So how can HR activities contribute organizational culture development? Think of this, okay? All right, so I'm gonna pick up randomly someone from the list, okay, to discuss this question with me. Okay, so let's see. Nguyễn Thị Ngọc Thanh. Ngọc Thanh, are you there? Oh, okay. No, no Ngọc Thanh. Phi Anh, go ahead.
In my opinion, some activities that the company, especially HR department, can do to build up the organizational culture is make the regulations for the employees to make everyone obey that, and the fact that no company are like others company. So they have their own cultures. They can like bonding together, do some teamwork activities.
Yep, correct.
And sharing.
Yeah.
I
Team
think
building. Team building. You know that?
Yeah, team building. I know.
All right. So very good. QUểN, sorry. Thế Anh, correct?
Yeah, Phi Anh.
Phi Anh, sorry. All right,
Yeah.
Phi Anh, very good. Yes, that's kind of, you see, HR, they do. For example, they're going to make sure that people in the workplace to be cohesive, cohesive. In Vietnamese, we say that đoàn kết, but normally in English, we say cohesive rather than united. But of course, you can say united, but cohesive. And some activities like team building, that's what actually Phi Anh just mentioned. All right, so that kind of activities, of course we got a lot of activities, but just pick up some thing that HR can contribute to build up organizational cultures. Okay, and another thing I think very clear is that, you see, every business, I mean every organization, they try to make that different from others by use their own uniform, or we say outfits, or dress code. You can use what kind of words, but remember that relating uniform, that relating to outfits. Okay, it's very clear. Relating to university, relating to, for example, bank. All right, bank. You see some VC bank, MB banks. They have actually not good. They have actually their outfits are different from all the bank. Or you see, every business, even actually universities, have their logo, right? That is quite different. You see, IU, we got the logo, and you also, UFM, get the logo. And you get your own color, we got without color, all right? That's kind of, visible aspects of organizational cultures. And HR gonna be the one who contribute significantly to build up that, right? Now, the next, we're going to talk about the roles of HR management. What that mean, the role? In Vietnamese, vital, or that vital is also actually general words, Vietnamese, but should understand that the job they're gonna do. So what they're gonna do when you are in HR staff? The first is administrative. In Vietnamese, it's like the hành chính. công việc hành chính. Administrative that included clerical administration, record keeping, legal paperwork, policy implementation. Right? Major shifts, use of technology and outsourcing. So when we talk about the administrative, it's very clear that you see people who work on this, they do a lot with papers, printing, write down, typing, or stamping. In Vietnamese, that you see that nhân viên lưu trữ này trong cái phòng hành chính này đánh văn bản này, lưu trữ ghi số văn bản đến, văn bản đi, vân vân. That is we say administrative roles. So this is the reason why from the beginning I said that HR is normally placed in administrative departments or general departments. They don't put HR separately from other departments because HR role has been ignored by the organization, especially in public sectors. But now it has changed actually. HR is not only administrative work, they also do another thing relating to strategy, right? The second role of HR management is that we say operational or employee advocates, that they're going to cooperate with managers and supervisors, identify and implement needed programs and policies in the organization. For example, relating to performance review, relating to set up objectives, KPI. Do you know what a KPI, guys? So for HR students, you should get this KPI. For example, for business, you see, even actually public enterprises, they are going, change the way they manage employees' performance. They use very specific objectives to measure it. And one of these, they could say KPI. So who do it? HR. KPI, Key Performance Indicator. Right? Ở đây thầy muốn giải thích cái liên quan đến cái vai trò vận hành nữa này. Các bạn thấy hiện nay trong các doanh nghiệp người ta đang chuyển đổi rất nhanh về cái liên quan đến quản trị cái hiệu suất, cái thành tích của nhân viên. Một trong những cái công cụ người ta dùng đó là KPI đó, KPI đó, gọi là Key Performance Indicator. Trong nhiều doanh nghiệp bây giờ người ta đang làm, các bạn học HR đó, các bạn sẽ là người tư vấn cho các doanh nghiệp sau này, hoặc nếu mình làm cho doanh nghiệp mà doanh nghiệp muốn chuyển đổi, mình phải biết tư vấn. Như vậy là tất cả mọi công việc đó, đều có cái mục tiêu, và mục tiêu nó phải đo lường được, và việc trả lương bổng dựa trên mục tiêu hết. Ví dụ ngay đầu vào anh đăng ký anh sẽ đạt bao nhiêu mục tiêu, thì lương bổng anh ngay từ đầu được set up chừng đó. Anh muốn nhiều lương thì mục tiêu anh đăng ký nhiều, và dĩ nhiên không phải là đăng ký suông. Đến cuối năm mình review lại, không cần phải nói dài dòng lòng vòng, lấy kết quả làm thực tế so sánh với anh đăng ký cái mục tiêu có đạt hay là không đạt. Đạt thì ok, không đạt phải xem xét lại, nếu đạt tốt thưởng. That is KPI, and business are going actually to apply it. And who gonna do it? HR. All right. Not only this, actually, even as labor, like industrial relation or employment relation. Ở đây còn một cái vấn đề nữa liên quan đến nhân viên HR đó là cái industrial relation or employment relation or labor relation that you're gonna learn it later actually. Nhưng mà lưu ý đây này, industrial relation đó, trong tiếng Việt mình người ta không có dùng, vì người ta cứ dịch đơn thuần cái từ đó là quan hệ công nghiệp. Mà quan hệ công nghiệp người ta cứ nghĩ là quan hệ giữa doanh nghiệp này với doanh nghiệp kia. Thực ra không phải. Industrial relation nó thiên về cái employment relation, nghĩa là quan hệ lao động, tức là nó giải quyết những vấn đề mâu thuẫn. Cho nên trong các tổ chức thường nó có công đoàn là như thế. Mâu thuẫn nào là nhân viên để đòi tăng lương này, nhân viên cảm thấy unfair treatment, đối xử không công bằng, nhân viên làm nhiều mà lương thấp, người ta hoàn toàn có quyền complain, và HR sẽ là bộ phận giải quyết. Right. And another role of HR, I think this is the new, is that strategy, về cái chiến lược. That's going to be address business realities, focus on future business needs, a fit between human capital and business plans and needs. And that is the reason why at the moment we got HRBP. That is one of position actually in the workplace relating to HR job. Cho nên bây giờ đó, nếu các bạn thấy cái xu hướng đó, các cái ngành trong cái lĩnh vực nhân sự nó có một cái ngành mà có một cái tên, đó là cái HRBP, HRBP. Thầy không biết cái tiếng Việt nó đọc như thế nào. HRBP. HRBP tức là nếu mình dịch sang tiếng Việt đó là Human Resource Business Partner. Đó là một cái vị trí tương đối cao trong HR đó. Các bạn được xem xét như một cái đối tác chiến lược trong tổ chức. Các bạn là người gắn kết giữa trên top managers và cấp dưới, giữa cái link ban này ban kia, phòng này phòng kia. So that is job of HR. And if you get, if you get a job like that, so your salary is going to be very high, maybe 40, I think $1,000 to $2,000 per month. And here you see the mix of roles for HR departments. So what that means for the past, now look at this pyramid. In the bottom, here at the bottom, I don't know what the problem actually with the pen here. I can't use this to write down something on this. I would like to write down directly on the slide, but it doesn't work, guys. No, so like this, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna use maybe this one. All right. Here is the pyramid. You see, here is the pyramid. You see, triangle. So it is the past, right? Cái này là trong quá khứ. All right. Now we're going to see how the roles for HR department change. Now is the future, and at the moment, hiện tại và tương lai sẽ như thế này. So what does it mean? You see, administrative role is gonna be. It's not gonna be. It is actually dominated their job. Nếu các bạn nhìn vô đây này, như vậy là cái chức năng này, cái chức năng hành chính là trong quá khứ là nhiệm vụ chính của người làm HR. Chủ yếu là các bạn làm những vấn đề này. Liên quan đến đây là nhân viên thì làm ít, chiến lược dường như rất ít. Trên đỉnh cái nhỏ này, cái này to nhất ở dưới đỉnh. Ở dưới bottom này, cái đáy này là cái việc chính này. You know what I mean? In the past, nghĩa là trong quá khứ, cái vai trò của nhân sự chủ yếu làm công việc hành chính. Lên tí cao đó là cái là liên quan đến nhân viên, ví dụ ký hợp đồng này kia, soạn thảo các hợp đồng đối với nhân viên, và cái cuối cùng chiến lược. But now it's changed. Như vậy nào các bạn thấy thay đổi hiện tại, future. So cái HR người ta focus on strategy, các bạn làm chiến lược nhiều hơn, và cái hành chính trở nên rất ít. Công việc giấy tờ lưu trữ sẽ không còn là công việc của HR, sẽ có những bộ phận khác không cần đòi hỏi cái chức năng HR. HR gonna focus on strategies. Alright, that's the change. I think at the moment, so many business enterprises, they focus on this. So for the next, that is, we just finished about employees is core competencies and how competencies of employees or HR contribute directly and significantly on organizational cultures, organizational productivities, and customer service. Okay. Now the second, when we talk about HR, is the ethics. HR and organizational ethics. So ethics, organizational ethics has been actually presented very clear and in details in the module or in the course of business ethics and BE. Cái phần tiếp theo chúng ta sẽ nói về đạo đức trong tổ chức và HR. Cái đạo đức này đã được trình bày rất rõ trong một cái môn học, đó là đạo đức kinh doanh. Thì cái này thầy không biết là trong cái trường UFM của trường mình nó có dạy hay là không, nhưng mà hiện nay thầy đang phụ trách chính cái môn này cho trường học quốc tế là Business Ethics, và các cái chương trình liên kết với các trường khác như Boston University, thầy cũng dạy cái Business Ethics nói về đạo đức kinh doanh. HR chỉ là một mảng rất nhỏ, tức là HR nó cũng liên quan đến cái đạo đức. Hôm nay mình sẽ focus xem từ HR này về cái đạo đức tổ chức là như thế nào. Alright, so here are two sides. Remember that ethical treatment and unethical treatment liên quan đến HR. Okay, ethical treatment đó là cái việc các bạn cư xử có đạo đức, và cái thứ hai là cư xử phi đạo đức, không có đạo đức. This is going to be impact on HR here. Areas for potential ethical problems in HR. Đây là những vấn đề thường xảy ra liên quan đến đối xử trong cái liên quan đến đạo đức của người làm HR. Một là compensation, development, staffing, performance management, EEO and training. Compensation đến thù lao lương bổng. Cái này thiên về cái đạo đức. Các bạn là người xây dựng, cho ông này nâng lương, ông kia nâng lương. Các bạn liệu có dựa trên cái evidence để xứng đáng là ông A để nâng lương, hay là các bạn vì quan hệ cá nhân các bạn đòi nâng ông này nâng lương ông này, đề xuất nâng lương ông này chứ không phải ông kia. Đó là vấn đề đạo đức. Nếu các bạn làm đúng tức cách mục dựa trên một cái đạo đức là các bạn hoàn toàn vì công ty, vì strategy, vì chiến lược, vì thực tế để mình nâng lương xứng đáng người, chứ không phải vì quan hệ này kia. Development nó cũng như thế. Các bạn thích chứ không phải là các bạn đưa ra cái quyết định là cho ông này đi học để mà thăng tiến lên cái vị trí giám đốc hay là cái gì đó dựa trên cái năng lực của người ta, chứ các bạn thích ông này hoặc phe của các bạn đưa lên thì rõ ràng cái đó là không có đạo đức. Staffing, bố trí nhân sự cũng như thế. Performance management, quản trị thành tích. EEO, so what EEO? I'm gonna explain it. EEO is very important in Western countries. Cái này gọi là employment, equal employment opportunity, gọi là cơ hội tuyển dụng công bằng. In our context, sometimes we understand this may different from others. Trong cái hoàn cảnh Việt Nam mình, cái từ này đôi lúc mình hiểu nó khác với bên nước ngoài. In Vietnamese, we got priorities. Ở Việt Nam mình có chính sách gọi là tuyển dụng ưu tiên, là recruitment priority, là tuyển dụng ưu tiên. Nhưng mà ở nước ngoài thì nó không có dùng cái ưu tiên mà nó dùng là cơ hội tuyển dụng công bằng. Thì why it is? For example, thì ví dụ trong cái việc mà thăng tiến các bạn nam và nữ thì thông thường những cái giới tính nữ là hay bị thiệt thòi, là các bạn luôn bị nhận xét là các bạn nữ, cái phe nữ là nó yếu kém, không có mạnh mẽ vì gia đình cho nên rất khó để mà bố trí lên chức này chức kia. Cái đó là mình đang làm sai đạo đức. Vì cái luật pháp nó cũng cho phép mà các bạn nữ phải được, lẽ ra các bạn phải được ưu tiên, nói theo tiếng Việt là ưu tiên lên một tí, tức là bởi vì các bạn đã chịu thiệt thòi, bị coi thường. Chính vì điều đó mình phải ưu tiên các bạn lên một tí. Các bạn không mạnh nhưng mình phải tạo cơ hội để các bạn phát huy cái điểm mạnh của họ, thì đó mới gọi là EO. Cái này như vậy, cái này cái đạo đức thì thầy muốn giải thích bằng tiếng Việt để các bạn rõ. Đôi lúc nó có cái luật pháp nhưng mà luật pháp bên mình, Việt Nam mình nó không có cái luật. Ví dụ các bạn thấy cái luật tuyển dụng công bằng, luật ưu tiên tuyển dụng này kia, đó là cái luật. Nhưng mà nếu các bạn không cứ áp dụng luật thì các bạn không phải ở tù, đúng không? Nhưng mà cái việc các bạn áp dụng đúng luật hay là không đúng luật đó là liên quan đến đạo đức. And HR is very important to this, okay? And now you can see how it influence. So in case, I mean, the way you're going to treat your staff, ethical or unethical wise, gonna be influence the consequences of this. Đây là cái hậu quả của việc mà mình đối xử công bằng đó, tức là có đạo đức hay là không đạo đức. Một, job satisfaction. Nếu các bạn đối xử không công bằng hoặc phi đạo đức chắc chắn là ảnh hưởng đến job satisfaction, họ sẽ không có hài lòng. Job satisfaction means that the attitude, they're gonna be satisfied about job. I mean the attitude actually relating to their job. Cái cảm xúc của họ liên quan đến cái thái độ, cảm xúc của họ liên quan đến cái job, họ có hài lòng hay là không, là job satisfaction. Turnover rate, sometimes we say turnover rate, tức là tỷ lệ mà rời bỏ công ty. Absenteeism, vắng mặt. Commitment, cam kết. Job performance, cái hiệu quả công việc. Ethical decision, và những cái vấn đề ra quyết định thiên đạo đức. What does it mean? What does it mean ethical decisions? Ethical decisions. So again, here is the thing. You see that we know that what happened with HR and how ethical or unethical treatment going to impact on HR field. Đây là những cái vấn đề, những công việc của HR mà các bạn cần phải xem xét liên quan đến cái đạo đức của mình. Một là cái lương thưởng này, phát triển này, bố trí nhân viên, quản lý thành tích, ưu tiên trong tuyển dụng, đào tạo. Thì cái này có quy định của nhà nước, ưu tiên đối tượng ưu tiên hay là cái gì đó, rồi là dựa trên bằng chứng đúng người, đúng đánh giá đúng thành quả. Thì vấn đề các bạn đối xử đúng đó gọi là ethics, có đạo đức. Còn nếu các bạn làm trái đó theo ý chủ quan của mình gọi là phi đạo đức. Thì những cái này ảnh hưởng đến cái kết quả như sau: job satisfaction, sự hài lòng công việc, tỷ lệ rời bỏ công ty, vắng mặt cam kết, hiệu quả công việc. Ethical decisions. Ethical decision thì nó rất là quan trọng, các bạn ý nha. It's very important. It's gonna impact on employees citizen behavior. Nếu như ví dụ trong một cái tổ chức mà HR nó đối xử nhân viên nó không công bằng trong cái việc, ví dụ này các bạn đi bán hàng, các bạn làm rất nhiều việc nhưng mà lại không được đánh giá cao, người không làm thì lại được hưởng nhiều, chắc chắn bữa sau các bạn sẽ không làm một cách nỗ lực. Hoặc các bạn đi ra làm đó, ai có mua đi bán hàng, ai có mua không mua thôi, các bạn đi nói xấu về công ty của các bạn làm, hoặc là các bạn sẽ cheating hoặc lấy trộm đồ của công ty. Đó là những cái là ethical decisions. Alright, so here is ethics program elements. So how can we make this relate to the ethics? We say ethical behavior and organizational culture. So what HR gonna do? You can write written code of ethics and standards conduct. See here. This also relating to organizational culture. So what it is? What code of ethics and standards of conduct? In Vietnamese business, actually, we got a lot of this, even actually public agency. But we don't say code of ethics or standards of conduct. We normally use behavioral regulation for staff, for managers, for employees and things like that. Về cái này đó gọi là cái code of ethics. Ở Việt Nam mình là người ta hay dùng các cái nội quy tắc. Ví dụ các bạn vào công ty nào, các bạn sẽ thấy là quy định ứng xử của ban lãnh đạo, quy định ứng xử của nhân viên, quy định ứng xử của nhân viên với nhau, quy định ứng xử của nhân viên với khách hàng, vân vân. That is, we say code of ethics and standards of conduct. And of course, HR gonna be the one who consults manager with this writing. Okay. Employees training on ethical behaviors. So we got the ethical programs, ethics programs, but how can we communicate it to employees? How can we make sure that employees gonna be conforming with this expectation? So we need to train them. All right. The third program is that advice to employees on ethical situations. So sometimes employees actually get we say ethical dilemmas or ethical situations. So that we need to get their advice. So how can they going to solve that problem? When we talk about the business ethics, we talk about ethics. The thing here is that it's very blurs between wrong or right. Sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right. So you need to be mindful actually to resolve this problem. But for employees, sometimes they don't know. For example, let me give you example. For example, you are a senior staff in a organization, and you're going to introduce your relatives, your friends, or your family to work. Introduce to the managers, ask them to recruit your relatives to work in the same company with you. So is that ethical or unethical issue? That's gonna be, it's very blur. It's very difficult to say it's correct or not correct. But I would say in every business, they encourage their staff to introduce their relatives or their friends to work in the same company with them. Right? Of course, they should have the capabilities. They should address the requirements. So that is sometimes we say, ethical dilemma or ethical situations. And for that reason, HR should provide, advice for employees. The next is that systems for confidential reporting of ethical misconducts. What this mean? Systems for confidential reporting of ethical misconduct. That's confidential, that relating to secrets. Okay, we should keep secrets secret, okay, or confidentiality. For example, Mr. A, Mr. B, they got some problem relating to medical treatment, but we're not going to. We need to invest this, but we need to keep, confidentially. And of course, when we ethics, we can't apply, the ethics standards of our culture, of our country to others. For example, if you go into work in Laos or Cambodia, so the ethics standards going to be different from us, and that's why we should understand the ethics and global differences, and the difference in legal, political, and cultural values and practices in different countries. That is, we say ethical relativism. Okay, and global employers must comply with both their home country laws and the laws of other countries. So this thing gonna be presented very clear in business ethics. So I suggest everyone go to read the book Business Ethics, and that book gonna be presented very clear about this. I got this book, so if you like, you can ask me. So then I'm gonna provide this book to you to read if you like. Of course, it is in English. Now we're gonna go through. I gonna go to in detail that HR roles in organizational ethics. We got legal questions and ethical questions. Legal question is that does the behavior or result meet all applicable laws, regulations, and government codes that related to a law? Okay. Second ethical question. That's what I just said. Does the behavior or result meet both organizational standards and professional standards of ethical behaviors? Right? Let's make example of student university. So in our country, in Ho Chi Minh City, you see that there are several universities. One is a public university, another one is a private university. Now I'm gonna pick up the private university. All right. So the government, they get the regulation relating to tuition fees reduces, right, for disadvantaged students. Ví dụ trong các trường đại học, bây giờ thầy lấy một cái bài ví dụ HR role, legal question and ethical question. Ở Việt Nam mình ở Sài Gòn bây giờ, ở thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, chúng ta thấy rất nhiều trường đại học, có trường đại học công lập, có trường đại học tư thục đó. Thì bây giờ mình phải đặt ra câu hỏi này: nhà nước nó có quy định đó là cái việc giảm học phí, miễn giảm học phí cho các đối tượng khó khăn, right? Tuition fee reducing for students from disadvantaged groups, right? Mình có cái đó. Như vậy các bạn nhìn thấy ở trường công thì người ta làm rất tốt vấn đề này, right? Nhưng mà liên quan đến trường tư, bây giờ người ta đặt lợi ích ở trên hết, thì người ta sẽ đối xử việc này như thế nào? Người ta giảm hay giảm như thế nào? Người ta không giảm thì có bắt người ta ở tù không, hay là như thế nào? Nó liên quan đến vấn đề cái đạo đức. That's we say ethical question. All right. And of course, again, I would like to emphasize when we talk about the ethics, is the standards of wrong or right behavior. Okay. Và liên quan đến cái chuẩn mực đạo đức. Người ta gọi đạo đức là liên quan đến cái chuẩn mực đúng sai. All right. And it is not between the right, the wrong, between the, legal and not legal one. Absolutely. Nó nằm ở lưng chừng giữa cái luật pháp và cái norm society, cái luật lệ xã hội, cái luật pháp. Có những cái thiên về cái đạo đức. Alright, so now we go directly to examples of HR-related ethical misconduct. Alright, yeah, misconduct. Conduct is good, so misconduct is that mean not very good. Compensation, for example, misrepresenting hours and time work, falsifying work expense reports, showing personal bias in performance appraisals and pay increase, allowing deliberate, inappropriate overtime classification, accepting personal gains or gifts from vendors. That's going to be the bribe. Yeah, example like this. Okay. Here is, let me explain it. Đây là những cái ví dụ về những cái cư xử không có đạo đức. của HR để các bạn thấy. Ví dụ liên quan đến lương thưởng lúc nãy thì đã giải thích rồi, nhưng mà đây tiếp tục làm rõ này. Compensation, okay. The thing here very important from this chapter. What I suggest is that try to understand the keywords here. Các bạn lưu ý là đây là mình đã học chuyên ngành và mọi thứ đều bằng ngôn ngữ, bằng tiếng Anh. Cho nên cái chương 1 này nó cung cấp rất nhiều cái keyword. Nó rất là hay cho các bạn. Thậm chí sau này các bạn có đi thi IELTS, các bạn học cái gì lên cao thì các bạn sẽ hiểu về. Hoặc khi mà các em sau này á, làm việc với công ty nước ngoài phỏng vấn thì mình hiểu những cái ngôn từ trong lĩnh vực HR bằng tiếng Anh. Đó là lý do mà thầy khuyến khích các bạn nói tiếng Anh. Hôm nay thầy còn nói tiếng Việt, nhưng mà cái week sau chắc có lẽ thầy sẽ nói tiếng Anh để các bạn phải tập. Và nếu các bạn không hiểu thì các bạn phải lắng nghe lại, vì bài hôm nay được thu lại. Hoặc các bạn có thể liên lạc thầy chỗ nào không hiểu. Alright, but try to use English. Compensation in Vietnamese that's gonna be too loud. Alright. The second is employee relations. So misconduct also happened with this. Employees lying to supervisors and co-workers. Có không? Nhân viên họ nói láo đối với cái supervisor, cái quản lý của họ và cái đồng nghiệp, right? Executives, managers, emailing false public information to customer and vendors. Misusing or stealing organization assets and supplies. Cái này cũng hay xảy ra này. Lấy cắp đồ của tổ chức. Internationally, violating safe or health regulations. Right? Here. What we say breaking law. Violating, làm sai lệch đi một cách có chủ ý các quy định về an toàn về sức khỏe. Alright? Violating or violation or it's breaking, okay? That's relating employee relations. So the second is that staffing and equal employment, việc bố trí tuyển dụng. Discriminatory favoritism in hiring and promotion. Một trong những cái cũng thiên về cái gọi là không phi đạo đức trong cái công việc của nhân sự, cho nên mình rất cẩn thận. Ví dụ đây này, nó gọi là cái chủ nghĩa thích thú, tức là cái sự phân biệt trong cái việc mà tuyển dụng và promotion. Discrimination. Ví dụ bạn đến từ Quảng Nam, khi bạn tuyển người Quảng Nam thì bạn cho ưu tiên cho người Quảng Nam. Bạn này không phải cùng quê với tôi không ưu tiên, mặc dù có thể bạn này, hai bạn này chênh nhau một tí thôi. Alright, second, sexual harassment of the employees. Cái này is often happen with female workers. Sexual harassment of the employees. How to say in Vietnamese? Gonna be lạm dụng liên quan đến cái thân thể phụ nữ. That's happened a lot in our country. Or EEO discrimination, phân biệt trong cái việc tuyển dụng ưu tiên này kia. In recruiting and interviewing, conducting inappropriate background investigations. So that is the thing. So here is an example of HR-related ethical misconduct or unethical treatment in the field of HR. So you guys should understand it, okay? The first is compensation. So here is the thing, the bad thing, okay? Here is the bad thing. Here is the bad thing, okay? The bad behavior, okay? Bad behavior. We don't allow it. We should understand it and try to make sure that we're not going to be doing like this, okay? Okay, guys. Now we're going to talk about the current HR management challenge. All right. So far, what we know, we understand what is HR, human resource management, what is human capital, and why HR as a core competency, right? And we understand how HR contribute to productivity, customer service, and organizational culture. And then we also look through how actually HR, small business, small organization manage HR, how HR job is valued or considering in the workplace. And then we have discussed about the ethical issue in HR department. And we know something might happen actually ethically, unethically in HR department. For example, compensation, employee relation, staffing, and equal employment. All right. Now, the next section, we are going to talk about current HR management challenges. Challenges that we mean difficulties or struggles. Okay. Như vậy, cái phần tiếp theo mình sẽ tìm hiểu những cái khó khăn, những cái bất cập mà quản trị nguồn nhân lực đấy, hiện nay đang đối mặt. So there are four things we're gonna focus on. That first is competition, cost pressure, and restructuring. Cạnh tranh giữa các doanh nghiệp rất cao và điều đó là dẫn đến là nhân viên ra đi, nhân viên giỏi là luôn luôn bị lôi kéo từ các công ty khác. Globalization, toàn cầu hóa. A changing workforce, sự thay đổi về lực lượng lao động. Human resource and technology, công nghệ và HR. Bây giờ người ta đang dùng các cái phần mềm trong cái việc quản lý nhân sự. Các bạn đã biết rồi, thì nó sẽ tác động đến công việc của chúng ta như thế nào. That's gonna be the challenges. Today we're gonna understand it. All right. So we're gonna go through step by step. The first is competition, sự cạnh tranh, cost pressures, áp lực về chi phí, and restructuring và sự tái cấu trúc. Job shifts, what that mean? So cost reduce number of existing employees, attract and retain employees with different capabilities. Sự thay đổi trong công việc. Skill shortage, sự thiếu hụt về cái kỹ năng. Inadequate supply of workers with the skills needed to perform the amazing new jobs. Here is, I would say, very important. So we do a lot of research about this. That we say, especially for new graduates, skill gaps and career readiness. Skill shortages, that means skill gaps. Because the environment, business environment has changed a lot, and that's going to impact on, industries, and employers. They're going to have, new requirements for new graduates. Skill shortage này còn gọi là cái skill gap, hay còn gọi là thiếu hụt về kỹ năng của nhân viên bây giờ đó. Cái này ở cái bộ môn APD đó mà hiện nay thầy đang dạy bên cái chương trình của Đại học Tây Anh đó, thì đề cập rất là nhiều. Thì thầy cũng có nhiều nghiên cứu về cái skill gap, sự thiếu hụt về kỹ năng của các bạn mới ra trường đó, và career readiness và sự sẵn sàng gia nhập vào lực lượng lao động, tức là các bạn sẵn sàng làm việc, đáp ứng công việc luôn. Thì nó rất nhiều yếu tố, nó tùy cái ngành. Các bạn sẽ thấy ví dụ mỗi cái ngành marketing, thì bây giờ các bạn đã nhìn cái marketing bên chuyển đổi rất nhanh, nó thiên về cái digital, về cái số. Ví dụ marketing số về digital marketing, nó đòi hỏi cái người mà nhân viên mới nó phải có, ngoài cái kỹ năng anh học về marketing, anh phải biết sử dụng cái IT. Đấy, cho nên nhiều sinh viên có thể họ giỏi về marketing nhưng là không giỏi về IT, và rồi sử dụng các cái social media, ví dụ như dùng cái Facebook hay là dùng cái LinkedIn này kia để mà review products này kia không được, vì không biết dùng công nghệ mặc dù biết làm. That is which is skill shortages. Or teamwork skills, hoặc làm việc nhóm. Bây giờ nhiều bạn không làm được việc nhóm, tức là chỉ làm được với mình. Khi ngồi trong một cái môi trường cái diversity đa dạng đó thì không có làm được việc. That is skill shortage, right? Second is globalization. So we're going to focus on this. Again, I would like to mention here, for the environment of HRM, I'm going to talk it later. Về cái môi trường quản trị nguồn nhân lực, chúng ta sẽ nói next chapter, cho nên thầy không có đề cập. Mặc dù trong cái chapter này đó, nếu như các em đọc đó, thì các em sẽ thấy có cái phần đề cập đến cái HRM environment and HR function, thì không có đề cập ở trong cái chapter này, bởi vì chapter tới mình sẽ nói. Globalization is like cái toàn cầu hóa, that the integration of global operations, management and strategic alliances. Here is types of global workers. It's patriots. Remember this, okay, you guys. You meet this words a lot. It's patriot, that a citizen of one country working in a second country and employed by an organization headquarters in the first country. Like we say, it's patriot. Host country national, citizen of one country working in that country and employed by an organization headquarters in a second country. Or third country national, citizens of one country working in a second country and employed by an organization headquarters in a third country. This kind of, we say, global workers, and globalization is going to be impacted. So the thing here, how HR can adapt this? That is the thing. That is relating to legal and political factors. For example, many nations function under turbulent and various legal and political systems. So the role of HR professional here is that conducting comprehensive reviews of the political environment and employment laws before beginning operations in a country. Right? So here I say the challenge relating to globalization. So the thing is, when every country, is now actually globalizing, even Vietnam. So that means, you see, the border among the countries is going to be blurred, right? For a long time, we only studied something actually in our country, but now actually the people go beyond the border. People are free actually to go to other countries to get job, right? To get education. And that's why you see now the book that we use here is from USA actually, and we use English, not Vietnamese, to teach this course, to discussion. That's globalization. And even actually some business, Vietnamese enterprises are, going to do business in other countries. For example, Viettel. Viettel gets several branches in other countries, even actually America, or Vingroup, or FPT. So these corporations, is a Vietnamese corporation, have have been doing business in other countries. That's globalization. So related to HR, for example, you are HR staff in the department in HR, or you are staff in the HR department at FPT. So now some of staff from your company gonna send to Africa to work there. So what you're gonna do? How about the salary? How can you pay salary for this? How about the legal, all the things relating to your staff? Patriot there. That is HR had to do. For example, here another thing that we're gonna discuss is strategy, people, complexity, and risk. Another side relating to challenges that HRM face. It is the changing workforce, that racial, ethnic diversity. Remember, the guys, diversity is very important, and at the moment, many business they focus on this. They focus on diversity, and it's gonna go with inclusion. Diversity here not only about the ethics, not only about the racial, It's also the gender. We got, I know everyone said now that male and female, but remember that we also another gender. We got LGBT. In Vietnamese, you normally say that BD or gay, right? And when we talk about the BD or gay, we normally, what we do, we normally laugh at them. That's not good, okay? So you should understand it, or even actually religious reason liên quan đến tôn giáo. I'm not sure if you get experiencing working with diversity like that, but I got experiences after work with, um, Indian, Chinese, Indonesian, Malaysian, Buddhism, Catholic, etc. Right? That we say racial, we say gender, we say um, religious diversity. And but in our country, you should understand, and you're gonna be interested to do your thesis or research in that aging workforce. I found that many students they select this aging workforce through the thesis, aging workforce, and that's where you get generation G, okay, Gen G, and many students they select a topic that what the different how Gen Z is gonna be engaged in work, how Gen Z contribute to employee voice in the workplace. What the difference actually between Gen Z and Gen X, Gen Y, okay? That we say aging workforce and growth in contingent workforce. Here, also important, contingent workforce. What does it mean? Tức là những cái công việc, những cái nhân viên họ làm theo gọi là ngẫu nhiên, tức là họ làm theo cái thời vụ. Họ không có muốn là fix một cái công ty nào cả, họ làm đây một thời gian, họ làm chỗ kia, hoặc một lần một thời điểm, nhưng mà họ làm cho nhiều công ty, nhiều công việc. So you should understand that. That's why we don't have 10-year track actually. Ở mình còn biên chế chẳng hạn, nhưng bây giờ mình có đang thay đổi dần biên chế, đặc biệt trong các cái lĩnh vực công mà không phải là lĩnh vực về chính quyền đó, ví dụ các cái doanh nghiệp hay là các cái đơn vị hành chính sự nghiệp của công ở Việt Nam mình bây giờ nó chuyển sang không còn có biên chế nữa, mà chỉ chuyển sang cái hợp đồng ngắn hạn, dài hạn hoặc vô thời hạn. And another thing that HR gonna be facing, dealing with is that the advantages of technology that gonna be improves the efficiency of the administrative HR function and reducing the cost, helps in strategic HR planning, support recruitment, selection, and training, contributes to organizational performance through collection and analysis of HR-related data. That is the advantage of technology, but it's put the pressure on HR. So HR needs to get, IT skills, knowledge. That means skill gap, skill shock going to be happening. Let me check the time. So we still have maybe 10 minutes. We got a question here, guys. So this is gonna be for you to do it at home, okay? We're gonna discuss it later because now we don't have time. It's gonna be homework. Sorry. I'm not sure it doesn't work actually. Homework. All right. So it's gonna be for the assignment. All right, guys. So remember this, okay? You got NGUel assignment and just answer the question that how does COVID-19 impact on HR roles? And with then, I mean, your answers in 100 words, and of course in English, okay? And send it to me by, that's my email, by this day, okay? And remember that to name your voice as UFM morning class week 1 and then your name, okay? So they're gonna be accounting for your procession mark. So the next section that we're going to talk about the HR management competencies and career. So I suggest everyone go to read the textbook. I'm going to go because we don't have much time, but I'm going to explain this in short, okay? Here HR competencies, cái năng lực của HR, strategic knowledge, kiến thức về chiến lược, legal capability, administrative capability, operationing capability, technology, and usage abilities. So legal capability, I think for me, is very important because, especially because HR going to work with contracts, and that's why we should understand it. For strategic knowledge, it's also important in case you are at managerial position of HR department. And another very important is that technology. So HR now, you see, because the impact of COVID-19, we have moved from physical office to online working. So that put the HR, HR gonna, the question for HR is that how can you control employee working, okay? And how can you review the performance? And how can you manage the time? Because HR gonna work with that. How can you track the employees' attendance, right? HR management as career field. So at the moment, I would say that HR is popular, it's emerging job. And for example, we got HR generalists and HR specialists. But for you, what I suggest that be like this. Try to do like this build up. Sorry. Here. HR specialist. That the person who has in-depth knowledge and expertise in a limited area of HR. Okay. And as HR professionalism and certification, HR professionals need knowledge in following areas: employment regulations relating to law, finance, because you're gonna work with contract. That's why you should understand a little bit about the financial management, for example, tax, law, statistics, and information systems. It is just for you to reference. We're going to go through, see how job in HR become emerging now. I'm going to open it to this link, but I'm not sure it doesn't work. All right, let's try it. I'm not sure it doesn't work this way. Let me try to open this link account. Hello, are you there, guys? Thế Anh, are you there? Phạm Thế Anh?
Yes.
All right, so what do you see on your screen now?
Sorry.
What do you see on your screen now? Here, you get it? You get the LinkedIn accounts? What do you see on your screen, on your computer now? What do you see?
I see
LinkedIn? The website, correct?
yes.
All right, good, thank you. Okay, so I need to confirm. Sometimes internet connection happen. I mean, interact that way. I'm not sure that you guys get it or not. I'm going to talk about the trend and career in field of HR. Okay, so now we can see. I'm going through LinkedIn to look through the job here that how many jobs that relate in the HR field. Let's see. Here, data entry clerk. I think it's head of HR. Let's see. Financial accounting, business operation, producers, offering candidate. So here, administrative assistant, head of HR, chief human resource officer, HR. Logistics planner would be HR too. Head of human resources, and you see the salary very high. They're gonna pay for this position. Human resource business partner, that's a HRBP. Personal assistant job. Legal assistant. Lots of people and culture remotes. Here is also like in HR. Human resources generalist. Human resources director. Human resources benefits specialist. Recruiter. Director HR operations. Human resources manager. And you can see the ranks of salary from $70,000 to $100,000 per year. Very high payment. All right, so a lot. This I would say that HR is become prominent here. Human resources business partner. Public relations assistant, they're going to be not for us. Diversity, equity, and inclusion program manager, HR. Employee relations specialist, HR. Personal assistant, HR, of course. A lot here. Diversity, equity, inclusion program manager. Okay, guys. So you can see that it just become very prominent jobs. Okay. So the last session is all right. So it's over the time today. We're gonna finish now. So if you get any, remember that you got the assignment. Okay. You got assignment, homework assignment, and I have spot this. Okay, I'm gonna repeat this. I'm gonna you guys can find this assignment actually from this slide on MS Teams. Okay, but let me note it in chatting box. Very slow. All right. I'm gonna copy it and put in chatting box. All right, guys. We're going to stop now. So see you next week, okay? Remember that this assignment, and if you get any questions, let me know. Okay? Bye-bye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Thank you for joining me this morning. It's that long morning, okay? Bye-bye. See you next.